It's almost go time. Shout out to the sponsor, TJ.
Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have TJ Hanley as the sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. TJ Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. LAPEEF family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of TJ Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because TJ Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
It's never too early to feel the TJ family. It's go time. But it's go time, family. You guys need to make sure you get the like button, hit that like button, that like button, that like button. What's going on, family? Welcome to LAPEEF and Sundays on the Lapeef Network. Let me introduce the crew. We got Jay, a story to tell. We got Miss Shan Monet. We got the real, I can't see that name. Precision, Precise,
Precious.
There you go. We got Bruiser, Indy, Hink, Mistaken, Lady Di, me, myself on Lapeef JR. Welcome to Lapeef-ING Sundays on the Lapeef Network. How y'all doing, family? How y'all doing? The church say amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Praise God.
Said they was here to get that ghetto gospel today. So we're going to go ahead and keep it ghetto for them today. So I want you guys to speak, say finna, ain't. Supposed to be, not supposed to be, but supposed to be. Okay, see, my jokes are not hitting today. I'm going to keep it moving now. Shout out to the sponsor, Teej Handling Uncomplicated Skincare for Men. Make sure you guys feel the Teej, man. The Teej works, man. It does. It doesn't look too bad on the camera. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. It's important that you guys like the stream now, and then you got to worry about it later. We got Green Gang in the chat. I see Treese Westmoreland in the chat. Marquise Keys, Mr. BX87, Ed Hill, Ash. Shout out to all the Green Gang that's in the chat right now. So how y'all doing this morning? We got Hank in the basement. Got Bruiser kind of color coordinating over there. Jay got those TLA headphones in as usual. Sham Monet will be snacking in a few, so when you see her go off camera, we already know what she's doing.
Damn.
It's gonna be long-winded, and Lady Dash can get straight to the point. He gonna be the one that's ghetto, and India is gonna be on and off camera flickering. You might want to wipe your lens a little bit; it's a little fuzzy. I don't know what's going on.
It's that iPhone, baby. It's that
You gonna
iPhone.
use your fingers? Come on now. Who uses their fingers to wipe their lens? And who else? Lady Dash doing the same thing. It's not gonna work, family.
It's an iPhone use.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Is that the background or is that her fingerprints on the lens?
They're painting.
I didn't hear what you said Bruiser gonna do. I know I'm long-winded, but what did you say Bruiser was?
You on mute.
I said Bruiser gonna take his hat off and scratch his head. That's what he gonna do. And then he gonna come over here. He gonna sit back and listen to everybody else talking, and he gonna come in and try to figure it all out, try to problem solve it. So instead of coming with the solution on the back end, he gonna use you guys talking points and then come with a solution there. So in all reality, he wasn't even paying attention, but he just made sense from what you guys said.
That man be watching film, boy. That man be watching film.
Yeah, you gotta do the homework, man. Do the homework. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get this show started. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Our first topic of today is Deion Sanders announces that he is leaving Jackson State and coaching at Colorado. I know this is not Lapeef in sports anymore, but I thought this story was very unique because we often talk about the Black community and what people are doing, and it seems to be that people had put Deion Sanders on a pedestal because he was coaching at HBCU. He was also bringing talent and giving them recognition that they hadn't seen before. He's putting them on the map, so to speak. But he decided that he was going to leave Jackson State in order to take on a coaching position for Colorado, which is a PWI. You see the correlation there? So it's sending a lot of people in uproar. I think some of the people on the panel are in uproar because they are pro-Black and for the Black community. And it seems to be that Deion Sanders may be going against the grain. He's seeing an opportunity to get the bag. That's what people say. He wanted to get the bag, so he chose what was best for him, and it seemed to be that people are criticizing him for it. Let me go ahead and play a clip for him because, according to him, he did not want to see it. He did not want people speaking on his name without him speaking, clarifying the situation. It's a short, brief clip. I'm not going to play everything he said, but I think this is important just to give a little bit of context. So here we go.
I know y'all been hearing the rumors and everything that's been transpiring around about what I'm going to do. And I like to, I know y'all been hearing the rumors and everything that's been transpiring around about my whereabouts and what I'm going to do. And I like for y'all to hear it from me and not from anyone else. It is what it is. Either in coaching, you get elevated or you get terminated. Ain't no other way. You either elevated or terminated. And it ain't no graveyard for coaches where they die at the place. It don't work like that. They either gonna run you off or you gonna walk off upon your own recognizance. I've chosen to accept the job elsewhere next year. I'm gonna finish what we started. We're gonna dominate. I'm gonna be here to that end and that conclusion. And then when that conclusion, we will move on.
All right, we heard from the man himself, Deion Sanders, clarified that he is going to go take that coaching position in Colorado. Just real quick before you guys get into your talking points, is there anybody on the panel that is disappointed for his decision? I seen somebody in the chat say they're disappointed. Anybody disappointed? Oh, okay, mistaken is disappointed. Anybody else that's brave enough to admit that they're disappointed in his position? Okay, Sham on there is kind of like on the fence. Okay, let's go ahead and get it started then. I'm not disappointed. I think he made a good point. As far as it's kind of hard for black coaches. And how I saw it is that he could take on the opportunity and still bring attention simultaneously to HBCUs. He's going to be put on a larger stage, but it doesn't eliminate him still being able to provide some recognition, some light onto HBCUs. But that's just my opinion. I'm not disappointed in it. I mean, I can understand he had to make a tough decision. Opportunity presented itself. Some people may argue that all along that's what he was trying to do. That he maybe was just using the HBCU to take the route to get some recognition, and then he was going to bounce. But let's go ahead and get you guys' thoughts. You got some people that's disappointed and some people that's not. Who wants to go first? Go ahead.
I think that everybody's goals are different. So to shame someone based off of what they want to do, I don't think that should be smart. Also, he probably just want to be able to get a little bit more money and then help the black community later. So he probably, just probably watch and see what he does.
I know they felt the same way about Jay-Z when he supported the NFL after all the stuff going on with Colin Kaepernick. And they kind of like did the same thing to him. And I feel like as black people, there needs to be a place at the table. So in order, you have to go through those doors sometimes and take a seat at those tables to be able to put a black face in that room. So he could turn up.
Oh, go ahead.
I feel like he was correct in the terms of, he had to elevate, because the hero, if they hang around long enough, they're going to become the villain. So you have to make moves when the moves are available. Let's say he stays there, and let's say his next 4 recruiting classes are not as good. He's going to become the villain, and he's going to get fired, and he's going to fall into obscurity, and nobody will know. I think right now you got to strike while the iron's hot. And I think one thing he did was show a lot of other black coaches that are getting neglected by the NFL that, you can go to a black institution and flip their program upside down and make them productive. Don't turn your nose down at these programs, because there's opportunity there and it's helpful. You're going to be impacting a lot of people. A lot of athletes are going to go into these professional sports with a good baseline of where they came from.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. Yeah, sorry. So for me, I don't really know much about it, but from what I've seen, this is where I think it gets a little funny. One, we didn't know his. We guess we can't foresee the reason why he went into that position in the first place. It could have been for opportunity. It could have been to help the black, the HBCUs get their football program up. We don't know. But I think the only thing that's bothersome for me is the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, he did bring some guys over to the team who had D1 opportunities. And so to me, I hope I'm accurate on this. Did that happen? First of all, am I right so far? Okay, good. So for me, it would be concerning if these guys thought they were going to be under his covering under this program, and they gave up another opportunity to be under his program, and then he just, leaves mid-flight. So that's the only problem that I would see with it. But anybody going after, a higher paying position, I have no problem with that. It's just I want you to do that, not leaving anything behind, like unfinished, so to speak.
I think I get what you're saying. Like some of the kids, athletes sacrifice going to like maybe a PWI or higher D1 college to come over to play for the HBCU just off the strength of his name, Deion Sanders. I would say that those people and those parents is probably foolish to do that just because it's a HBCU and it's Deion Sanders. You should just do what's best for your career. You're trying to be noble and have some type of honor to be pro-black. I mean, I think people just take being pro-black to the extreme. And when he said elevated or terminated, I mean, he said that like there's no in between, like you can't just be stationary. So I'm kind of not with that. And black people always, have an issue when you elevate. They always have an issue when you elevate, and they crucify you when you depress, when you fall. So it's like this just two extremes. So, they killed that coach in Boston for what he did. Now they want to kill Deion Sanders for elevating. Like it's just you can't. They just want you to just be stuck. So I say more power to him, man. I think he did enough, man. Just going there and coaching for the time he came and coached, put them on the map. They on the map. I don't see them falling off the map. You know what I'm saying? It's up to them, the coaches left there or whatever, to just continue to carry the torch. So
Yeah, and if you're an athlete, it's in you. He just brought out what was in them. Everybody has opportunities. And so if they were given an opportunity to, make a name for the HBCU, and he's leaving, why be mad at that? You know what I mean? Is it abandonment issues? Like, what is it? Because everyone has to be able to advance. And he did something for them. You know what I mean? I don't think they would lose contact from Deion because he goes to another team. You know what I mean? So I just think that everyone has the right to advance. And he did what he did for that school. And, they should be proud of themselves. Not saying, oh, well, why is he leaving or why is he going to another school? No. You know what I mean? He did what he did. Y'all, obviously y'all got it. You know what I mean? He pulled it out of y'all. Continue it. Just keep it going.
For me, again, I don't follow football, so I can't speak a whole lot on the issue. But for me, it was more about, was he chasing purpose or paper? And that's the difference for me, is that, how will he use this new opportunity to fulfill his purpose in relation to those young Black men that he was working with? It is in terms of money, his net worth, he already is making $40 million. So it's not about him having enough money for his family. His family is straight. So it's not about that. So the biggest thing for me is he going to was his purpose in going to HBCU was to really go somewhere else to begin with? And if that's the case, then cool, he's doing what his plan was. But if he went in under the guise of saying, I'm trying to support these young Black men, I'm gonna go to this, HBCU and provide opportunities for other people to start investing in HBCUs, if that was his purpose, then that's the part that I have an issue with, is that his purpose got overshadowed by him chasing the paper. But if that's not the case, then so be it.
I just want to speak in general. I think that a lot of people like to point the finger so quick. I mean, I think we should just all, let him do his thing and we just watch and see what he does. And then if you see something you don't like, then, have your opinion. But I mean, we should just wait because he has his own goals. So he should be able to kind of do that. without someone saying that he shouldn't.
Go ahead, Hank.
I don't know why we making an issue out of it. It shouldn't be. He's not obligated to anybody but himself, and his family. That's it. That's his only obligation. You don't have no real obligation. Everybody knows it's a business. It's always been a business, always will be a business. So ain't none of y'all moving. If a CEO job open up, y'all gonna say, hey, I want to stay a manager. I don't want to be a CEO. Y'all not gonna pass that up because y'all feel like y'all hurt y'all co-workers. You know, the custodian, the lady in the copier room. Y'all wouldn't accept it. So why should we expect Deion to do the same thing? Man, let this man do what he need to do. We need more guys in the major D1s. We don't. HBC is a stepping stone. That's all it is. It's a stepping stone. We need to realize that. I mean, why is it a problem? Especially among black people. Y'all really thought he's gonna stay there for the career like Eddie Robinson? Who do y'all think this man is? This man's eventually gonna make it to the NFL. He deserves an NFL job, and that's where I want to see him at. I'm glad he took another a high level job before he went on to the NFL level. I'm glad he did that, and we need to see more black coaches in the D1 level. You realize it's not that many, so you want us to stay all on a lower level, let all these other white boys get the better jobs and the more paying jobs that's gonna help their family? Hell no. Because y'all don't care when them white boys move from job to job. Y'all don't say a goddamn thing about, oh, them poor black babies, them poor black boys are being left behind. Y'all don't say nothing. Y'all just accept it and move on. But this black man want to do the same goddamn thing. It's a problem. It's an issue. Oh, he sold them out. Thank goodness for the portal. Any one of them kids on that school could transfer right now and go to Colorado right with them. It doesn't matter if they had D1 offers. They could go anywhere they want. So December the 5th, come Monday, that transport portal's open. He made a strategic move. He said it that way on purpose because he know come Monday, I'm going to have a conversation with them boys between Saturday and Sunday, and they're going to say, hey, I want you guys to come on to Colorado with me. I know what I said for the cameras, but behind the scenes, I want y'all guys to come with me. Opportunities there. I don't know what they got. I really don't care, but I know what y'all can do. I know I got dogs. I got pit bulls. I got gorillas. I want y'all guys there. Come on over if you want to come. If not, you can stay here, do your thing here. I understand. But if y'all willing to come on to Colorado. Let's make this thing great.
And I played college sport, so it's sort of like a package deal. So you got to think about it as the staff you had, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, the nutrition coach, the trainer, all that stuff is going with him.
Everybody will be better.
So he just pretty much put the whole team on, if you want to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I've never seen so many people pissed off about somebody getting a raise.
Well, that's why I agree. If he used his new position, this new opportunity to fulfill purpose for others, then I don't see anything wrong with it. That's all I'm saying. It's just that still moving in that direction. But as long as you're pulling others with you, then I'm all for it.
But see, black people is like, if you can't pull everybody with you, don't go. It's like we all connected when we really not connected for real. Because the moment Deion Sanders fall or anything happen to him, he commit a crime. These same people saying that he shouldn't leave ain't gonna go put nothing on his books in jail. They're not gonna try to bail him out. They're not gonna raise no funds. All they're gonna do is cuss him out and tell him how full of shit he is on social media.
HBCUs as a whole, though, like on the decline anyways, like they're having issues getting funding from their alumni and boosters and stuff like that. So the white schools, like the PWIs, their alumni and like their boosters put a lot of money into their schools. Like they give back to their schools.
Where
I
you
think
get it from?
Yeah, I think within the last let's say 18 months.
Go ahead.
No, I would say within like the last, I'd say 18 months, about 2 years, HBCUs have been stepping up. Like the alumni participation. I know my HBCU in particular, we had a almost undefeated season, you know, alumni participation, and you can tell the alumni participation based on homecoming. Like this year, our homecoming was flooded like I've never seen it in my life. And it's been that way from, you know, South Carolina State, A&T. Like you've seen an elevation. And I think part of it is seeing that, you know, a person like Dion go to a school like that and say, yo, this school is not trash. It just needs some organization, needs some participation. So there are a lot of people that saw what he did and they're moving in that direction. I think you're gonna see a lot more black coaches start going to these HBCUs. I think within the next 5 years.
What school did you go to, Jay? If you don't mind.
It's called Benedict College. It was in Columbia. It's in Columbia, South Carolina.
But Jay, they should have been in it. And the problem is that Colorado job should have really been open. If Eric Bieniemy had any sense to his ass, he should have left Kansas because he's not going to get a head coach job in the NFL. They already passed his ass over at least 3 years straight. He should have came down to the college level. His alma mater is Colorado. He should have went there, took the job, and worked his way up. Get out from under Andy Reid to show that he is capable of being a head coach on a major level. That's what it should have been. But I knew Deion was going to leave. I didn't think it was going to be after this year. I thought I was probably going to wait for that Florida State job to open up because that's where he went at, and maybe he got that job. But I was surprised, but I'm happy for the man because he deserves it.
It looked like Deion Sanders kind of revealed a strategy for like great, you know, prolific players in the NFL, like specifically black players that may not get a shot at an NFL coaching job. Hey, go to your alma mater, go to your school. That's first step. Do well there. Then once you get elevated to the PWIs or the D1s, do well there, and then you got your shot as a head coach in the NFL. But you got to make that sacrifice by starting from the. I don't want to label HBCU as a bottom, but I'm just saying going back home and then starting back from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to say that they at the bottom. That's just the reality of it, right? I mean, compared to other colleges, other institutions, that's where they are.
In terms of priority.
You're right, but it is an easier way to get in. It's just like business credit, right? If you want to start business credit without personal credit, it's going to take some work. You know, you're going to have to first establish the business. You know, that's the coaching job. And then, you know, you got to start with your net 30s, which will probably be the HBCUs, you know, and then you start applying for the store credit cards. And then you go to the major credit cards. And then if you want a loan, then you apply for the loan. It's going to take some work, but a lot of people just want to go straight to it. And sometimes you got to go back door. So I think you made an excellent point, Bruce, as far as I don't think people looked at the opportunity, the mindset, the insight that he revealed for everyone. It's like a blueprint.
Yeah.
If you can't get a coaching position automatically, or if you can't get seen, start here. You know, make some noise with whatever you're doing right there. And if you think about it, I mean, I didn't play college sports, but I'm pretty sure that if they couldn't get into one of those top schools, that they started somewhere and they said, I'm gonna bust my ass. And some people made some noise and transferred.
Yeah.
You know, they started at a community college. They was putting up numbers. And then they went up to a big institution, and then they went to the NBA or the NFL. So,
well, the fortunate part is it's a free agency market now. You can go to any level, and as long as you show what you can do, you can always move up. Now, whether you can perform on that next level that you move up to, that's a different story. But you can always move up. I mean, coaches was able to do it for years. Now the players got that opportunity. So look, any player on that squad can leave Jackson State. I'm sorry. They can leave right now. They won't have to sit out a year. They will not get penalized. They have one free pass. And even if they go there for a year, they could transfer again as long as they got eligibility. Now, if they do it then, they have to sit out. But you at least have one free pass. Every player on that squad has one free pass. I promise you, half their team going to go with him. And I not 85% of that coaching staff is going to go with him too.
Yeah, I think he's putting people in position that probably wouldn't be there. But some people may make the argument that he's pulling away from the HBCU. I guess you can make that argument, but he's also making sure he's gonna put somebody else in there. It's like a rinse and repeat. So
Yeah, he
they can
made
do the
impact.
same, right? He's gonna put somebody else in position they think is fit. This is what I did. Take what you need from it, and then they can duplicate the same process over again. So I think you have to. I mean, somebody has to be the one to move up within. I think Mistaken might have said, or somebody else might have said that you have to navigate through to be able to put other people in position. I think that's something he probably is going to do. So we have to just wait and see on it. Just our opinion.
Well, he said if you got to watch the whole speech, he wanted his TA one of his assistants. He recommend to the AD that was sitting right beside him that he get the job. Now he said he's just got to say so. He's not going to be the one to make the final call, but he recommended that. So if he does that, then how is he hurting the HBCU? He's putting more black men in better opportunities. So not only the assistants that are going to go with him are going to get paid more, and their family's going to benefit, but if he has one of the assistants take over as a head coaching job, man, that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
It looked like it may be a desegregation tactic too, but I know not a lot of black people are probably against segregation or whatever. I mean, actually, a lot of black people against integration because they think we actually did better when we were integrated. But I think they're kind of doing some of the things, something similar to what happened to LeBron James. So to speak, as far as LeBron entering the city of Cleveland, increasing the value, increasing the revenue, the cost of living, just bringing value to that city, and then, tearing down and setting up shop in the new city and pretty much crippling the city. I don't know if Deion Sanders did that. I don't know if he came to Jackson State and increased the ticket sales, increased the overall, revenue out of the football club. Maybe he did. But, I mean, if you're going to be an organization and just bank off of one person's presence and influence, then I think that's a recipe for disaster.
No, I think it's like Mistaken said, if you follow Deion, in my opinion, he looks like he's full of purpose. You know what I mean? I feel like he don't do nothing without doing it with purpose. So if he's going to step on the scene of a HBCU, his purpose was to elevate those guys. His purpose was to, get them to a level where they have a name for themselves. The school has a name for themselves. You know what I mean? And with the coaching jobs, I can't see him just taking a coaching job and just leaving everything behind. You know what I mean? It would be, this person needs an opportunity. And to have one of us in the room, I don't know if Shan said it, somebody said it, but to have us in the room is crucial. It's so crucial, whether you're at a HBCU or a PWI. It is crucial because you don't see a lot of us in the room. And if that's how we usually have to get in the room, is to work, to put the work in. We don't go straight to unless you're exceptional. So if you're going to have somebody in a room like Deion, I don't think that he would just go and not take anyone with him or not allow someone else to have opportunity because, like I said, I feel like he's full of purpose.
Okay.
And I mean, just my last point, just in general, and Bruiser, you say you played college sports, so you know what that Saturday is. That Saturday morning, before a college football game for whatever city, whether it's a huge football town or whether it's a small town. You can even compare it to high school football, Friday Night Lights. You know what it does. It booms that community, the businesses, the mom and pop shops that make the barbecue. You know what I mean? So what that does for that type of community, if other people can do that collectively at their, respective cities and towns, it'll be positive, man. It'll be positive.
I just want to say congratulations to Deion Sanders for his job opportunity. After all is said and done, it was a great accomplishment, and we're proud of you. And I also want to say, Indy, I would like to see those stats about the alumni with the HBCU. Can you drop them in the back? Thank you. And I'm not talking about Ivy Leagues. We're talking about regular PWIs.
Yeah, that's fine.
I honestly think this move has the potential to create a trickle effect, with more black coaches to be able to, repopulate the amount of white people or white coaches on these levels. if a lot of black coaches follow the same blueprint. You get what I'm saying? I think it has the potential to be able to do that. I mean, and if Hink is right, if he's taking 85% of his staff with him, isn't it safe to say that most of those people are black? And it's safe to say that most of the people on his PWI level is probably going to be black staff now. So it's probably going to be the first PWI in history, college history, to have an all black coaching staff.
Can I ask you this? Well, one, I think that's excellent. I think that's excellent. But what I was going to ask about was this. So using the HBCUs as a stepping stone, I can understand that if that's your plan to try to get to the next level. But I guess for me, I'm looking at it with a different lens, being in education. So in education, what we see a lot of times is we see a lot of teachers, new teachers that aren't that, that don't have that experience, come into like Title I schools, stay there for a year to get that experience, and then leave those school systems to go to better school systems. So we say, oh, well, they're going there for the better opportunity. But the problem is the damage that they leave behind when they're chasing those better opportunities. So you use the lower schools with the kids that need the most support, the most, help, and then they leave and then trickle back to the same situation. So it's this ongoing cycle of having low level, teachers to leave to get better. And then the students aren't elevating. So I think in my mind, that's what I was kind of associating that with. If all of the, coaches are going to HBCUs to prove how well they can be at the next level, then what damage may be caused by just doing that. That was the way that I was looking at it.
I think white men do this all the time. Like, I'm in sales. You'll have a group of managers come in, boost revenue, bring the numbers up, and then leave. And then they'll put that on their resume and get a better position. Like Bruiser said, I think it's somewhat of a blueprint. You know what I mean? This is what white men have been doing for a long time. They bring their people with them. And that's what they do. Black people, we don't necessarily do that. And I think that Deion Sanders is introducing that to this platform, saying, hey, yes, we can make a HBC. We can put them on the map, but we can also elevate ourselves and put others on the map and spread ourselves throughout the enterprise.
And I also think that I don't think it's safe. Can we really say that the HBCU is being used? I would say the HBCU got more out of Deion than Deion got out of the HBCU, if you want to be honest. And it's not like we haven't seen
about the students.
It's not like we haven't seen a sports organization get repopulated to be predominantly black. We've seen it in the NBA. It might have took 75 years, but we've seen it happen. An all-white organization, the NBA. Now it's what? A predominantly black organization. So I think black people just get caught up in the time, and they don't really see what the potential of what could happen in the future. Sorry, that's my wife in the background.
I wonder what's going on over there. I said, man,
why are you worried about the students? What about the students? Why are you so worried about them?
Yeah, I was going to ask, when is it okay to leave? Because people do have to, elevate eventually, and the students are always going to be left behind in that regard. But as a staff, they should be able to find suitable people to replace.
So that's the problem. I'm looking at it in the same situation. Most people don't want to. Well, when you have your purpose, if I'm going into teaching and my purpose are those students, like for me, I specifically chose to work with at-risk students because I know that is my purpose, right? So if I'm saying that that's my purpose, and then I get there and then be like, oh shoot, and then break out because I want to go to somewhere else that's easier and chasing the money, then I think I've lost my focus and what my purpose was, unless I leave and I see that there's definitely other at-risk students in those environments, and then I can serve my purpose through that situation. So that's what I'm liking that to with Deion Sanders. If his purpose was to put the spotlight on HBCUs, to bring some students along, you know, to give them opportunity to be coached up and then give them an opportunity to go somewhere else, then I'm all for that. If he's bringing other staff with him and then recommending placing other Black people in these, you know, coaching positions once he leaves, then I think he's serving his purpose. That's all I'm saying is make it about the purpose and not necessarily the money. Because for him, the money isn't an issue. He has enough money to create generational wealth, which allows him to flex, you know, be much more flexible in things that he does because it doesn't have to be about the money. That's all.
Money always an issue, though. Money is always an issue. It's never not ever not been about an issue. And those who have money are wealthy and rich, they want more. You think there's a plateau? You think there's a stopping point? You think there's a ceiling? Hell no. I want all the money in the world. And I don't give a damn how wealthy I am or how broke or poor I am. I want all the money in the world. I'm not going to have a ceiling. What my man Michael George said, the ceiling is a sky. I don't know. He messed that whole saying, slogan up, that bullshit. But why he's not working, he's not dealing with the general student population. He has no effect on them, really. Not directly. Indirectly, yes. Directly, no. He's working with the student athletes. That's who he's dealing with. That's who his interaction with most of the time. And if you're anything, if your parents are around, they have worry about this is a business. They got an NIL deals down at Jackson State. You think they had that 5 years ago when Deion wasn't there? Wasn't nobody looking to sign them HBCU boys up for deals or contracts even 2 years ago? Nobody. When this shit got started, they weren't looking at that. This man in 3 years sold it out. Their games are sold out. Celebrities are coming to the game. Wasn't nobody going to HBCU games unless you was an alumni or former player who was probably 80 years old, barely getting up and down the steps anyway of a damn stadium. There's only one's going to be there. So now he's bringing all this notoriety. Even if it was only for 3 years, I bet you the sales as far as the Jackson State paraphernalia is probably skyrocket. Never. I see people here in Louisville want Jackson State stuff. No, they probably never been to Jackson, Mississippi in their damn life. But they are supporting that man because of all of what he brings to it. So now the man move on. Only us Black people have a problem with us seeing another Black strive and do better. And we come up with every goddamn excuse in the book. What about the students? What about this? What about the money? What about that? That's bullshit. We don't care. We wouldn't give a shit if the man had failed and got fired. We probably wouldn't say nothing. We probably wouldn't have said, well, he wasn't doing good. He was losing, so he deserved to get fired. The man's winning. He struck while the iron's hot. That's what you're supposed to do. So that's the thing what he's saying. Hey, he ain't gonna force me out. I'm gonna walk out on my own recognizance. Man, I agree with 110%, man. He did the right thing for him and his family. Again, you could never have enough money. It's always about money. I promise you. If Jackson State could have paid that man more, he might have stayed. But they can't afford him. So he's going to move on eventually.
Since we got so many HBCUs in here, where's everybody hail from? I'm Virginia State University.
Shane, you on mute.
I am from the City University, and I'm a paying alumni.
Okay.
Not HBCU, but Pace University in New York.
I went to William Patterson University in Wayne, New Jersey.
I didn't go to a HBCU. I wish I did, though.
I went to the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Murray State University, home of the races.
That was one of our that was one of our top 10. That's where Alphas begin. That was one of the first 10 campuses that we started on, where you just named JR.
Oh yeah, I know you played Alpha.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about the HBCUs. I was going to go to a HBCU, but it was better opportunity for me to go to a school that's not HBCU. So for me, I just go where I fit in and where, for me, I'm going to get the best benefit.
Oh, they're going to cancel you for saying that. I guess somebody may ask the question as to why didn't the HBCU benefit you, or why couldn't they benefit you?
for funding wise. They didn't give me funding opportunities. So I went to a school and they were like, "Oh, you can't get this scholarship, but here's a, parent loan." And I looked at that parent loan and I was like, I'm not going to have my mom pay that for each semester. And I had like 3 years left. So I just did my research, went to other schools, and I had better funding opportunities is what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't go to HBCU either, but when I was at Afrotech, I actually met and networked with people from the Thurgood Marshall funding program, and they help kids in STEM, like with pitch contests and stuff. And that's why I said what I said about like HBCU alumni not putting funding back into the programs, or it's not federally funded. Like it's like they're kind of like having to pull teeth in some regard, like even the living situations and where the campuses reside themselves. It's normally in a not so nice area, truthfully.
Yep.
Well, traditionally, only Black people were allowed to go to HBCUs, which is why they're historically Black college universities, which is why they are located in those lower income areas. But I agree we do not receive federal funding. We do not receive state funding. I mean, obviously there are grants that are coming out now more and more, but traditionally we don't receive state funding. So when you see that big, beautiful PWI, it's because it is state funded. And obviously their athletic program brings in a lot of money. So it's just different.
Not all. So a lot of them, like the private, like my parents went to Baylor. Baylor is a private.
Right. So that's more like an Ivy League level of a school. So that's apples and, it's a high functioning school. Baylor is a high functioning school. Absolutely it is. Not anybody can just get in Baylor.
No, but it's a religious school. So they get their funding from like being affiliated with religious organizations.
Right. It's a private institution that's associated with something else. Correct.
Yeah.
So let's say when white people want to go to HBCU, don't they get like these grants to be from being a minority and all that stuff?
Scholarships, they get scholarships.
No, but they do. There are a lot. There actually HBCUs, I had read somewhere, are recruiting to have more white people come to these colleges because of what Shan was saying, the lack of funding. So being able to integrate and have more diversity at these schools, the idea is it will bring more money.
So hold on, wait. So Black people trying to use the poor whites?
Not poor whites. If they have a great program,
she said it's colleges in the low income. So obviously the white kids.
No,
probably
the neighborhoods. You still have to go to the same as any school that you have to apply for. You have to be admitted. It's just located in low income areas because HBCUs were just schools for Blacks back in the day. Most of these schools were built in the 1800s. They're not like new schools.
So they reaching hard if they trying to get the rich white folk, these white kids that could go to these big colleges and try to get them to go to the HBCUs. And well, you got guys jumping like LeBron James, and how you supposed to compete with that?
Nah, they might
HBCUs no more because half of them over 50%. They 50% white now. Most of these schools are 50% white.
And let me clarify.
HBCU.
And let me
clarify. They was historically black don't mean they're currently black.
Mm-hmm.
You wrong. You mean 50% LGBTQ.
Well, others call it what you want to.
Let me clarify. When I say PWI,
last off from Jam on A, and then we're gonna move on.
Okay, so let me clarify. Yes, schools like, for example, Baylor is a PWI, but it's not a state-funded PWI. I mean, it's not a state school. It's not like the Auburn, the Alabamas, the Colorado states. It's a private institution. And so those schools are highly ranked schools. So they're just not letting anybody in. So you have a degree from this school, you're pretty much set because your degree has so much hold. It's so you can give back to the school a little bit more, So I know it's a PWI, but there are levels to PWIs.
But like UT, it's the same way. Like UT Austin, like the Longhorns, they're a public school, but they still are considered a predominantly PWI, or like A&M or OU. They're all public schools, but they still, like, their alumni dumps a lot of funding. I know because I have family that like went to these schools, and they go on, like, they're on the boards. They dump like
We
they
have
do like
well.
Yeah. It's
All right,
the
Carl.
difference of how much they give back.
I'm gonna go ahead and move on. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. I'm hearing that the likes are low. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the Green Gang in the chat. I see Gail and Knight is moderating. Shout out to Toya. Sean Gates, I see you in there doing your thing, brother. Shout out to you. I know Sean Gates is a fan favorite of Mistaken and Shan. I guess that joke did. I'm sorry. Shout out to the AP TAP accountability partner. Let's get to these super chats real quick. John the Baptist $5 says, Coach Deion Sanders understands Black culture and is moving on. Serve MLRCC $10 said, haven't seen anyone here congratulate Dusty Baker for winning the ship. One of the few Black managers to do it. He's part of the Black sports community as well. Didn't know that. So shout out to that man. John the Baptist $10 says Black culture will always be at the bottom because we do not understand the long game. When it comes to money, we move on emotions and lack and not the power move. MK Rich 199 said this is another way for them to buy us. Shaking my damn head. Del Will 499 also remember says salute to the Sunday fam. Hit the like button and put something in the collection plate. Shout out to you, Del Will. John the Baptist again $5 said real precious. We as Black don't need to follow Zaddy plan to build up the Black community. Shout out to Ash with the $49.99. Also, Amanda says, Hink, 100% correct. Black men need to focus on your number one, purpose. 2, get to the bag. 3, take care of your family. Then 4, reach back to help other Black men who are on their purpose. Do you? You cannot save the entire community. Leave that job to Jesus. Jesus does have a job, right? It's also Sunday. Rebellious videos, $5. Gave the peace sign. Salute to you, sir. J. Marie, $5 says, KS talked about once he got elevated in his profession, he created an all-Black sales team. So it is a backdoor way of doing things. Henry Vaughn, $4.99 says, Hink, my little bro graduated from Murray. He is a civil engineer now. Shout out to your little bro that graduated. He's a civil engineer. I wish somebody would have told me to go to. Actually, I did. I had computer engineering was my major. And then once I started looking at that chemistry, I'm like, what the fuck? That chemistry started hitting me a different way. And I'm like, nah, bro, I missed it. I seen that chart in high school, but they was giving us the answers. Unfortunately, I went to a Chicago public school and the teaching wasn't so great. I must admit, at least in that chemistry class, it wasn't. I had no idea that I would run into that chart again. And so when they put up them charts and they would just keep talking, I'm like, this is not for me. This is not going to work. That I had to move up and it got harder. I'm like, nah. But I kind of wish that they would only put courses that people can thrive in. A lot of those damn majors didn't even make any sense. I don't even know why you would even pay all that money just to do sports management. In some circumstances, speech communications, because that was what my major was. But I had 2 choices, either do sports management or speech communications at that point. But I wasn't taking college serious. A lot of people did get on academic probation. Unfortunately, I escaped that. But after the second year, I'm like, damn, what the fuck am I doing here right now? I think one of my guys did, management information systems. I said, let me try that. Didn't even know what the fuck it was. I'm like, that shit ain't gonna work either because the same courses I was trying to escape and run from, I had to go back and do it. So I'm like, I'm just in the band right now. I'm talking to the counselor. They're like, well, if you choose this major, you're going to start all back over. I'm like, well, fuck it. I'm not doing sports management, so let's just do speech communications at this point. And here I am.
What was everybody's degree in? Mine was in computer science.
Finance.
Media arts.
Sociology and then exceptional education.
Mine was English, writing, and communications.
Well, shout out to y'all scholars out there. Mr. B.
Apologize I didn't mean to put everybody on the spot that don't have a degree.
I graduate next week, actually, on the 12th.
Congratulations.
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 But I'm not going to tell you where they're in.
I know. I think I know what it is.
So before we move on to the next topic, real quick, would you guys advise your children to go to college? Would you tell them?
That's a good question.
It depends on the child, though.
It's not an option.
It depends on the child. If your child struggle all through, K through 12th grade, no, I wouldn't. I'd tell them go to trade school, get them a trade degree and certifications. That's what I would tell them. I mean, I got boys that I mentor now that I tell, hey, some of y'all guys, I know right now, y'all not ready for college. You're not ready for the responsibility. Your time management is terrible. You might want to go get a trade, maybe a barber, a beautician, a plumber, have HVAC, what I'm saying, automotive, whatever the case may be, because it's some of y'all just not for it. So yes, I wouldn't have no problem. If my son, if I didn't think he was ready, I could do it. I would advise him to do something else.
And for me, being in that field, I don't recommend. I don't think college is for everyone. Everybody has a gift and a purpose that doesn't necessarily equate to having to go to college to fulfill that. But I am all about making smart decisions. So, and I'm also all about education. It doesn't have to come in a formal sense of going to a secondary school, but you do need to learn. And so they have to have a plan. My son is one who did not want to go to college. Although it was a standard of expectation in my house, I'm not going to try to force a square and a circle peg or whatever that saying is. But no, I don't. I think secondary education should be a standard. However, a basic standard saying this is the next step. But like Hank said, if you find that you have a child that is just not at that point college material or don't have the desire to, is no need to waste money and time doing something that eventually they're going to end up having to pay money back or what have you, or wasting your money if you're paying for it. But they definitely need to have a plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna end it with this. If I could give somebody some advice, I would say try to see what scholarships or what funding you can get.
Thank you.
Beforehand, so that they can experience. I do think that college is a great experience. Just for like social skills, networking. I think they should be in there. There's so many opportunities that you can gain just by going to college outside of education. So if you can get the funding for it and you can maintain a decent grade and graduate, I think it's a good thing. But I don't believe in forcing some people to do it and you paying for it out of pocket. I think certain majors require you to go to college. Now, if you're going engineering, I would say, yeah, definitely go. If you're going to be a doctor, definitely go. Attorneys, it's like a hit and miss. I know some attorneys that ain't making no money at all. Social work, I wouldn't do it. Speech communications, I wouldn't do it. Typically people go after they graduate, after they get their bachelor's, they go back and they get their master's in something else. So I just think you really have to do the research. I think we should be putting people on game a little early about trying to get funding, and then
military,
and then seeing
that's funding.
Yeah, and then seeing if we can push the kids. But if that's not the case, then do something. I mean, there's other ways of making money, right? Legally. So
JR.
Go ahead.
So like in Israel, right? Like they require you to go to the military for the first when you graduate. So that way you automatically, like when you do I think it's a 2-year or 18-month contract in the military, and then you pick your job, whatever, and then after that the country pays for your college or whatever it is. And I know, like for me, I went to the military first. My parents didn't pay for my college. The military's paying for it.
Yeah. I mean, it's no shade to the military. I couldn't see myself doing it, but salute to everybody that has served and done. I don't know. I mean,
you can live in Chicago. You can go to the military.
Oh, come on, Bruce. Chicago not that bad. Chicago is one of the greatest cities on earth, man.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I think the news really floods. But the other loophole is going to a community college first. Try that out. Test it is cheaper.
That's what I did. Yeah.
And if you transfer, you still got your degree from that college or university.
Yeah.
So then you can find out cheaper if that kid is going to thrive or not. And then, hey,
I think black people just don't like to be disciplined. That's why they can't. Some of them can't go to the military. They're afraid of discipline.
Well, even college, you know, a lot of people just can't be disciplined. Like Hank said, you have to know your child. You know, if your child is struggling or, you know, they don't have really good time management skills, you know, that's something that you want to continue to instill in them. However, college brings that out of you. While you have your great experience in college, you still have to get up in time for your class. You still have to, you know, make your grades. You still have to, you know, balance things. And the discipline of it all is too much for some people. You know what I mean? I know a man who went to college. Pretty much, he probably has better discipline than somebody who didn't go to college.
I was gonna say that
I know Tate was talking about going out here finding scholarships, all that. You talk about a kid who's not even disciplined enough to do his schoolwork to even halfway graduate. What makes you think he's going to actually take time to do the research and look for scholarships? They're not. They are not going to do that because they're not motivated. They're not encouraged. And you probably got half these parents like, man, that's on you. I got mine. I'm not worried about you. You got parents that take that mindset. So again, I would tell any kid who's not built or ready for it not to go. You could, and some people make more money working a trade, being a plumber, you know, being an HVAC, make more money than some of these college graduates because they're starting off $150,000 in debt already before they even start out there really in the workforce.
I was about to say that.
Why should I start in a negative? I'm already making a house payment, and I barely came out with a degree.
That's
discouraging.
The game. I think that's what JR was talking about. If you knew the game, then you wouldn't have came out with $150,000 worth of debt. So I think we need to do in education, especially with our students, we need to do a better job of putting them onto that game because, like, you know, I think I don't know who just said it, but the parents don't know. So you can't really necessarily hold them at fault for something like their kids are the first generation that are even going to college, a lot of these. So the parents are not going to know. So I do think it is on the school system to do a better job of educating our kids, wrapping ourselves around them to make sure that they are doing these things so they don't end up with a whole bunch of debt because certain states they have like in Atlanta they have the Hope Scholarship. You keep your grades up and all of that, then you'll get some money to fund some of your schooling. Then you look for scholarships or you join certain programs. So there's a lot that you can do so you don't end up in a bunch of debt when you go to school, but we just don't take the time to teach our kids to know about it.
We got to move on, y'all. We got to move on. We got to move on. We got to move on.
Being accountable.
We got to move on. Yeah.
Accountability for parents. I'm sorry.
Yeah, now we got to move on. I hear you, Hink. I was going to say that too. Everything starts within the house.
Exactly.
So just make sure as parents, because I didn't know. I was one of those people that didn't know anything. I didn't even know what a GPA was until I was a junior in high school. And I didn't find it out until I transferred and they told me I need to be in all honor classes. And I'm like, no, I don't want all that shit. I'm like, but I didn't know because I went to the reason I'm smart as I am is because I went to a Catholic grammar school. I don't know if you guys have heard of Holy Angels in Chicago, but K through 8th grade. I stayed in the projects, but my mother, and I thank her for this, she was able to keep me in there. And I had a sponsor. I guess they had sponsors that want to donate, that want to sponsor a kid. So I had a sponsor for majority that would pay a portion of the tuition. And once I graduated out of 8th grade, I'm like, I ain't finna go. I'm not gonna do this Catholic shit no more. I'm done with this. The mandatory mass and said the Hail Mary, Our Father every day. And there's nothing against it, but I'm just saying like the structure of it was just kind of odd. But high school was easy. But unfortunately, once I started going to those public high schools in the hood, they didn't have the same resources as everybody. And I missed the beat when it came to that chart in chemistry. We were just sitting there. All type of shit was going on in high school, but that's what I had the most fun there. But the work was super easy. One thing I can say in all my honor classes was a bunch of women in there. So the classes were lovely. The guys in there was mostly squares. You had about 1 or 2 guys, but everybody was just all women. So it was a great thing for me. You got to go to college tours and field trips and stuff like that because they always took the people that had a higher GPA. one of the things that I hate being is at the bottom. So I always paid attention to the ranking when it came to those progress reports and report cards. I always wanted to be within the top 10. And then I was. So once I failed, I think I failed to like 12. I'm like, damn, this shit, it felt different. So I always like to be at the top as much as possible when it comes to like thriving. So I don't like failure. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and get this show started. I know we spent too much time on this topic, and we got some people in the chat that's complaining. John the Baptist also donated doing this spiel, $5. College education has too much liberal indoctrination. College is just a waste of time and money. All depends on what you're going for. I think some stuff you can't get around. I would want somebody going to college when they come to operating on bodies. But if they ain't paying attention, then I guess shit, that's probably a fucked up doctor, right? So I guess we got to get some doctor. They got some Google reviews or something like that, or maybe operate on somebody we know. Oh, they made it out. I guess my joke's still stale. Did I lose y'all?
Oh man,
No, we're all mute.
Here.
Okay, because I kind of feel like one of those pastors out there preaching. I lost the congregation.
Like I need
just signed up for
amen or something.
I just signed up for more courses, man. While you talking, man, I'm be a BBL surgeon, bro.
Shit, look at you, man. You talking about trying to save the black community. You part of the problem, man. You out there want to sign up doing BBLs and then you're gonna start like marketing.
I'm gonna correct the proportion, man. The proportion is wrong, so I'm gonna correct it. That's how it's supposed to look.
No diaper booties.
No, you need the slope. That you see the slope coming down. You see the slope coming down from the back.
I thought that was breasts.
No, and you see the legs match it.
It's a booty. He perfected the booty.
I gotta change this shit, man. I gotta change this shit.
Look, you better submit that to somebody. That piece of paper. Just put your name at the bottom.
I'm telling you, man.
Shout out to Green Gang member. Just became a member. God will spirit. Welcome to Green Gang, sir. All right, let's go ahead and get this moving. I want to ask the women on the panel. How do you guys feel? And it could be your husband or just any men, period. How do you guys feel when a man argues with you? Like, what is that? What goes on through your head when it's happening and afterwards, like after it's set for a minute, that he just went back and forth with you. He elevated his voice. He toe for toe, exchanging words, animated.
I just think that man has no self-control. You know, I think that men can say things precisely clear to get their point across. I don't think that engaging in back and forth banter with a woman is productive for him or her. They always say when you see two people arguing, you don't know which one is the fool. So I believe that men can have, clear communication without it having to be an argument. I don't even know a lot of men that like to argue. That's not a attribute of a lot of masculine men, in my opinion. It happens. Now, don't get me wrong, it happens, because if you on these YouTube streets, you're going to see men going back and forth with women all day long. But that's these YouTube streets. I hope that's not what actually goes on in your household. I hope life is not a debate. It's not a argument. Life shouldn't be that way. Not real life.
So once a guy argues with you, right? Let's just say he never argued with you. And then it gets to the point where things got heated and people gotta understand it takes a lot to argue. Do you know how much energy that you that it takes for you to argue? You ever get done arguing and then
it takes too much energy. Honestly, I would walk away from the situation or the conversation until we can speak like adults.
I would say, as far as arguing with a man, it takes, or anybody, it takes two to argue. You can't argue if the person's not arguing back. So I do understand that some men, they like to correct things. So if things are not going how it's supposed to go, since they're the leader, then they're gonna, maybe give you a challenge. But I wouldn't say that's arguing. It's just have a healthy debate, speak respectfully. And if someone is yelling, that doesn't mean you have to yell back. Because like I said, it takes two to do that. So that's all I want to say briefly.
Okay. It's taken and Shan, when a man is arguing with you, just kind of walk us through what's going on through you guys' heads, from based off experiences, or maybe you've seen some of your friends and family doing it. It don't have to be personal, but I'm just trying to get an idea of how women view it, at least the women on the panel.
I don't know. I think when an argument occurs, I'm not really thinking about necessarily how it looks at him arguing. Like, we're just in a moment and we're arguing. So probably most of the things that's going through my head is listening to what he's saying. And then it's like, oh, that doesn't even make sense, or whatever it is, what we're arguing about, just giving my viewpoint about the situation and him giving his. But I can admit that most times, if an argument occurs, as he's typically the one to be like, you know what, all right, you're right, I'll give it, you're right. And I know he don't mean that I'm right. I just know that he means that I'm done. I'm not going to continue with this argument. I'm over it. So he shuts it down by just saying, "You right." I know that. And I give time, like, afterwards. I mean, because like dating Lady Di said before, you look stupid arguing by yourself. So once that happens, I will always go back later on to have that conversation. I just know in the moment, in that point, that nothing is going to come out of the out of the argument. But we always typically will follow up, and we neither one of us have an issue with apologizing later on. But I do realize we both need that time in between to really reflect on what the other one said, and then go back and apologize for where we were wrong.
I realized I didn't answer the question, JR. You asked how would I feel if someone was, I guess, yelling at me. Back then, I used to feel that I was being attacked. Like everything I would do was wrong, or you don't like what I'm saying. So then that would feel like, okay, well, am I a child? Because only people that argue or want to yell is parents. But as I got older, I realized it's not. That's not what it is. And I learned how to have a conversation. So it shouldn't be any arguing anyway. And most people argue because they just don't like what's going on, and they don't understand what's going on. So they feel they have to yell.
Okay. Andy and Shan, real quick, what's going on through your head when a man is arguing with you?
They're sassy. That's a sassy man. You said animated though. That's why I'm like, I've seen it though. Like, men really go like back in. I don't argue with men, and the men in my life, in my circle, are very stoic. So like, they will walk away from you before they get loud with you or whatever it is and engage in that. And then they'll come back and tell you, they make statements. Like, they're not going to go back and forth. They're going to say what they're going to say and leave. And so when I do see that, all I think about is like somebody that feels like they're not being heard, like passionate, sassy, animated, and a lot of those characteristics we see in women. I haven't like seen that in like masculine man.
Okay. And last, Shan Monet.
I don't even know, because I ain't never had that experience. But I know I can just say, if anybody argues with me, I like to debate. So I get passionate about when I'm debating, and I'll even do that right.
You
so
say passionate, what's passionate? Is that
like I get my emotions in a debate? Like, that's why I like these podcasts, because it helps me, articulate myself properly. But when I'm in a relationship with a guy, and if he argues at me, I'll probably shut down. I probably won't even say anything. I do not like confrontation at all.
so? Like, would you say that's some type of trauma?
No, I'm just not. I don't like. I'm just not a that person. I've never been in a fight in my life, y'all. Never. I've never.
And time she needed to say stuff, she did.
I don't.
Yeah.
I just compromise. Okay, you got it.
So I'm gonna tell you guys something I always bring up too, right? Because I don't even think people even know what the definition of argument is, which is an exchange of divergent or opposite views, typically a heated or angry one. Why is it being labeled an argument from the start? You know, people, anytime there's a disagreement, I think a conversation should be had, but why does it have to be titled an argument? Because you're setting the tone right there when you say, I'm not about to argue with you. And typically people put that out there loosely because they don't want to hear what the person has to say. Sometimes the truth hurts. Or sometimes when you know you're wrong and somebody's going to identify what the problem is, you say, we're not going to argue with you. It's kind of like a deflection. It's like they're shutting down because they don't want to hear that truth. So let's just start by not even labeling an argument. Let's converse. Let's just have a conversation, right?
Yeah, it should be a conversation, not a confrontation.
Yes, that's different. We have a conversation.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and, lastly, this is the last question I have, and I want to keep it real quick on this so I can get to this context. Tone. What's considered a disrespectful tone? It's probably different for everybody, right?
From a man?
Yeah, from a man, because I think it should be more of a tone to kind of let a person know what time it is versus yelling. I do think tone is important because you can, with a certain tone, they know.
Tone, I think tone is important. However, men operate differently than women. I've been someone that's been on a team most of my life, had coaches in front of me all my life. So you have to know when somebody means business as opposed to, when someone is just, nagging about something because they want something done. I think most times when men speak in a different tone, they're trying to elevate, their point, because now I mean business on this. I mean, and a lot of women can't take that because they're not used to someone coaching them. They're not used to someone being in front of them, correcting them. And that's what a man's job is to do. He's, it's correction, leadership, provision. So I think tone is important. However, you do have to know your person to know when he means business and when, it's just a regular back and forth between you two.
Okay. Let me go ahead and play this clip, and then you guys can finish the conversation and get the gentleman involved.
Have a battlefield, and men have a battlefield in the way they communicate. For me, I always tell men, never get drawn onto women's battlefield with an argument, because they argue differently from us, and they will drag you onto that battlefield and they will win because you are not well versed in the way in which women argue. Mm-hmm. I feel like women argue with manipulation, they argue with emotion, and when all else fails, they'll pull the victimhood card.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, if I get drawn into that, they will always win.
All right, that's the context for it right there. What do you guys start? Let me get some of the men in there. Ladies, sit back for a second.
Yeah, I'm with him, man. That's why I try not to argue. I mean, and like what Miss Taken said, she said she try to listen to what he's saying, but a lot of women don't even be listening. They hear what you're saying, but they don't be listening. They don't be receiving what you're saying. They just hear what you're saying, and then when you get finished, it's like double dutch. They trying to get in there and say what they got to say. And this tone, you can have the right tone. You can say, be quiet, or you can say it louder, or you can say, be quiet, real low, change your tone, but you mean what you're saying. But a lot of women is out here tone deaf, because men, when we come in and have a conversation with you or we approach you, we usually unemotionally stern, short and precise. We try to be logical with it and be like, hey, look, this is a problem. Can you fix it? And then whenever you have a rebuttal to it or you have a disagreement, then it turns into an argument. But we don't get nothing. We don't have any stake in the argument. We don't get any, our dick don't get hard or nothing like that. We don't get any benefit from arguing with you. Our thing is to try to take the shortest path to the resolution. And what happens is we be trying to take that. We can see the path before that. We already thinking like, okay, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done with it. But we already know that's not how it's gonna play out. So then we got to go through an obstacle course to get to it. And a lot of times that's the only way women hear it. They only hear it the worst way, the worst way to argue.
Okay. Jay?
Yeah, I think you have to be able to distinguish who's trying to come up with a resolution and who has some shit on their chest that they just want to piss you off and get a rise out of you, you know, because they'll definitely want to see you out of character, you know. Bruiser is kind of like a stern, soft spoken, you know, so they'd be like, let me see. I ain't never seen him revved up before. Let me see what he look like when he's, you know, so they'll purposefully pick stuff because they want to see if he got it in him or what they think he should have in him. You know, let me see if he got some dog in him. So you have to distinguish who's trying to do that and get a rise out of you versus who is actually trying to have a conversation. They're just a little emotional. And with that, you know, you can have a conversation. And I think your tone, like me, you really, really have to work to get me revved up. And then when I'm there, I'm there. You know what I mean? And I have to literally run away to calm back down because nothing's going to get resolved. We're not coming to no resolution. You know, you got me there. Now you got to deal with me there. But for the most part, you know, my tone is usually this pace. You know, all right, well, say what's on your mind. All right, well, I'm sorry. Why do you feel that way? You know, like that's how I am most times. You know, so I think that's how you get stuff resolved. You know, your tone is definitely important, but I think you have to figure out who's trying to get a rise out of you because they're pissed off. They've been holding stuff in for a period of time. So it's like, yeah, I want to see him get bucked.
And it might be tricky for guys who's in these partnerships, these 50-50 relationships where the woman has some type of authority or she thinks she has some type of authority. I mean, I don't know how y'all handle that. But if I'm taking care of, I'm the provider and the protector, you know what I'm saying? I expect you to treat me like your boss. Don't argue with me. If you want to argue with your boss and you listen to what he say and do whatever he tell you to do, give me the same respect.
I go ahead, Hank.
Man, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with no woman, no tackhead, no chick or nothing.
What?
You waste your goddamn time arguing with these heifers, man. Don't do it. Men, don't do it. Just say what you got to say in a calm, respectful voice and keep it moving. She won't keep talking, walk away. That's another equivalent of leaving her ass at a goddamn restaurant. You walk away. You go into another room, man, if you got to go take a cruise around the block, then do what you got to do. Don't sit there and argue and then come back and have hopefully a more respectful conversation after she calms down and get out of her feelings. Don't waste your time with this bullshit. So no, I'm not gonna sit there and argue with no chick, man. It's a waste of goddamn time.
Yeah, I'm going to speak on it a little bit. I did see you come up to Real Precious. I know you want to chime in. I don't know if you agree or disagree with the men, but I guess we're gonna find out in a second. But I do think that it's important for men to set the foundation in the beginning because it can eliminate a lot of argument. And then even if you recognize something that wasn't brought up in the beginning, then I think you need to check it right then and there. I do think that men have to speak up, even if they feel the woman is going to argue. If it's something that you just don't stand for, or if it's something that's just unacceptable, then you got to speak on it. Whether they want to label the argument or not, then it's going to be up to you to dictate how that conversation is going to go. You know, if they want to argue, say, hey, we're not going to have that. You know, this is not what it's going to be. We have to have this conversation. If the conversation can't be had right then and there, then best believe, make sure you had that conversation hours later or the next day, however you want to do it, but the conversation must be had. You can't let things go. And if it's a stranger, let's say you have to do some type of business call or something like that, and then somebody come off disrespecting you, you're going to check it then, right? So if it's somebody that you know, you still got to do that same courtesy of checking it right then and there. Checking is not a bad thing. It's just you're setting the standard that you're going to have within that relationship, whatever it may be. But I think it's important to set a foundation because sometimes you may have somebody that just don't know you, that they may have known you a few days, a few weeks, and they may try some shit. But if you don't check it, if you don't speak on it, if you don't let them know that's not what it's going to be, then it can get out of hand later. It's going to be harder to try to recover from that because the respect is lost then. But shouldn't a woman just be sitting there arguing with you? It's important for you to identify what type of conversation that you guys are going to indulge in. But go ahead, The real pressure.
Well, I went first. I spoke on it first, but I did want to say that he spoke about manipulation in that clip. And manipulation, like things like that to me is a part of somebody's like spirit. So, you know what I mean? It's hard to, you know, change someone that is going to try to manipulate the situation, or especially with a man. A man is looking for a team player. So, you know what I mean? If you're going to do that, you automatically should know, you know what I mean, that's not your team player if she's going trying to manipulate the situation. And I think a lot of men rather not argue, rather not, you know, engage if they know that that is her mission. And it's easy to spot a woman who does that. And I think some men may stay too long with these type of women, because these type of women don't need to be, you know, in relationships. They don't need to be, they need to be coached, more disciplined, more something, more structure, because manipulation is something that for a woman can really destroy a man. Women can say anything against a man and now he's in trouble. He ain't hit her, he didn't yell at her, he didn't do anything. But a woman can use that manipulation tactic and really break down a man. And I think when men see that in women, they need to walk away fast, quick, and in a hurry. She means you no good whatsoever. You have to be with someone that's going to be, you know, agreeable. And women will test you. That's a fact. Men know that women will test him, but how are you testing him? Are you testing him to be better? Or are you testing him to bring out the worst in him? There are two ways you can test a man. And testing him doesn't mean that you're going to poke and prod at him. Testing him means, is he a man of his word? Is he the leader that he says he is? Will he stand on his word? So that manipulation, I for men, run. You see a woman, y'all in the argument or a back and forth or a place where you're exchanging words and she's trying to manipulate you, leave.
I mean, I don't have no problem with it at all. I went as far as I hung up on her. Girlfriend trying to argue with me on the phone. I'll hang up on your ass. You call me back, you're going to keep getting that F you button. I'm not going to answer your call until you can talk to me like you got some sense. I'll sit there. You ready to talk? No? Hang up. Don't play these games with these chicks. Like you said, that's all they doing is testing you. But don't let them test you to the point where it's going to get your ass locked up. Or you get a damn a police come knocking at your door talking about heard a disturbance. Why? Because now you done got out of character. They done got you off your goddamn square. And now they sit back smiling. Oh, I know what I got him right where I want him. That's bullshit. You better leave that heifer at the restaurant. She don't deserve your energy.
But if she your wife, then I mean, at some cases you gonna have to like,
deal with it, no bruiser. You
I'm saying, if she your wife, man, like I tell my wife all the time, you better be glad I'm arguing back with you, because she don't like it when I get, you know, loud and shit. I said, it's either I get loud or I'm in the streets. Which one you want? Because I mean, I'm telling you, like a lot of these women, bro, like they'll try to test you and they'll poke at you and you be throwing away makeup and tearing doors and shit off the hinges. But I'm not trying to go there. I'm just saying, look, I'm here. I'm your husband. I married you because I love you and I want to look out for your best interest. So whatever I say or whatever I do is not to pick on you. You know what I'm saying? If I'm supposed to lead, you got to let me lead. Don't try to rip my balls away from me and tell me I need to do this. No, that's not what the fuck's going on. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. I left the bread open on the counter. But let it be that. Don't come and try to give me a sermon on leaving the bread on the counter and how hard it is and how tired. No, don't give a fuck about that shit. I do a lot of shit and I don't complain. When I see goddamn a piece of toilet paper in the bathroom where you left, I don't go and say, don't be leaving. No. Just go ahead and pick that shit up. I just tell her, hey, look, just close the bread up, man. I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah, my bad. I make mistakes. I ain't perfect. But these women want you to be perfect.
I think part of it too, we can all agree that men and women are different. We process things differently. We feel things differently. And I think for women, tone it has a bigger impact on them than for men. I think men have an issue with tone coming from other men. Women have an issue with tone coming from men as well. And so I don't think is anything wrong with that. It's just understanding that the way that you argue and the way that you speak, that your tone is going to impact a woman more so than it would impact you. So what my husband had to learn, and even I had to learn, is that because I know I am like, he has a voice, the way that he speaks is, and so when we're in the middle of arguing, sometimes I have to say, babe, watch the way you're saying that, and vice versa, because I see that it's getting to a point that is making me feel uncomfortable. And now once it hits that tone where I'm uncomfortable, then I match his energy, and that's not going to be healthy for either one of us, because at that point we're not even going to hear each other, and vice versa. If I might be yelling and not even realize it because I'm like in my feelings, like I'm talking, and he'd be like, yo, babe, tone that down. And so that's how we have to operate, because I think when you're in the middle of an argument, you may not necessarily know that your voice is getting louder. You're just trying to get your point across, or you're trying to be heard. And so I think it's important that both people understand their partner and how they argue. So when you see that it's starting to go left, that somebody has enough sense to be like, all right, let's just table this for later. Or, okay, I'm trying to
somebody is always the man. Men are always the one to try to escape it. We always trying to pull back. What y'all do?
I had to walk
What y'all do
away.
is say, "I know we're gonna talk about this now." Y'all say we're gonna talk about this now. We always the ones that say, "Hey, look, man, let's just talk about another time. I don't want to talk about." No, you ain't gonna disrespect. Listen, why is it so hard for y'all to just say, okay, I see he getting mad. You know what I'm saying? I see what he did to the window last year. How about we just talk about another time? Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all be like, hey, I'm a strong black woman. Fuck that. My mama told me not to. Why y'all can't just buy
a lot of women don't operate in a feminine energy like that. You know what I mean? Women don't always have to have the last word. One thing a woman has to learn to control first and foremost is her mouth. That is the first thing a woman must learn how to control. I mean, coming out of college, you know what I mean? Because you live in that college life, can't nobody tell you nothing. You having your experiences, you're having fun. But you have to be able to control your mouth and know that you can't just say anything. Anything that come out of your mouth just can't fly. Because if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to be with somebody, you have to know that he is the leader. So, like I said, I've been on teams. My coach, when he raised his voice, you know what I mean? He wasn't mean to us. He wasn't trying to be, mean to us. It's time for business. Like y'all need to get on the line and run this lap. You know what I mean? And we knew he meant business. There's a time and place for everything.
It's different though. Like when you're in that relationship with a coach or whatever, I think it's different when it's matters of the heart. But I do think it is a matter of showing the same respect. And I think a lot of times that's what happens, is that when you get in the middle of argument, the respect sometimes go out the window. And once you lose that respect, then that becomes the issue. Because a lot of times what you're arguing about is never necessarily what the argument is about. It's always the underlying issue. Like if I'm like, you keep leaving your shoes here, I've asked you several times, please stop leaving the shoes. And then the argument turns into the shoes or stuff being left. But the real underlying issue is that I feel disrespected, or I feel like you don't care, or I feel that you're taking things for granted, right? That's the real issue. And that's what we don't talk about.
Well, like you said, it's the matters of the heart. And you say it's different. As someone who is an athlete, your heart is to win. Your heart is to get it accomplished. And I think a lot of people don't, when you're talking about relationships in sports, it may be a little bit different, but it really kind of is the same. If you've played a sport before and you've had that discipline and you've had that respect for your coach and you've had, to endure, you know what I mean? It a little bit is the same. What the matters of the heart is different, because now you're talking about another person that, you know what I mean? Like you said, it's not about the shoes anymore. Now it's about an underlying issue. When in sports, it's about, winning and getting, but the matters of the heart are still there. Do you want that person to succeed? What position they play.
But see,
Everyone has to add.
hold on. Can I say something? But there's the problem with that shoe thing, or this little petty shit like that. I go out in the world as a black man, strong black man, monogamous. You know, I wife you up, bought you a house, bought you cars, everything you want, giving you babies and all this other shit. And I go to work, be blown the fuck out, tired and shit. But you got the nerve to come talk to me about some damn shoes.
Yes, because
like, I'm Superman. I'm Superman, but you're gonna degrade me. You're gonna degrade me, my superhero abilities, to some damn shoe. Girl, if you don't pick them,
leaving your cape.
I don't want to hear that.
Stop leaving your cape in the floor.
I think there's some women who have had trauma. They haven't had to have, like, let's say Miss Real Precious had the experience to be in sports and get that discipline. Some people don't even have their dads, so they don't understand how to be in some type of order. They have to nitpick at everything because they like, oh, everything is perfect. So let me find something to yell at. They used to confrontation. So I think that women need to be teachable. If you have a man that's doing something like what Bruiser mentioned, then you should not be sitting here saying, oh, why is that out? Why is this here? Why is that there? Just appreciate that he even, first of all, came home. He's, providing the things that you want. And then go from there. Just, tie the bread back up. Everything shouldn't have to be an argument. Everything doesn't have to be spoken about. Yeah, it's probably annoying as hell that you see bread open. Okay. Yeah, it's annoying as hell that you're tripping over some shoes or whatever it is that, some men normally do. But at the same time, did he come home? Is he still providing for you? Then those things are like small. Those small things is going to add up to big things if you keep saying shit all day, every day. And it's like there's no break, so then there's no peace. So how you supposed to have peace in the home? Because that's what we supposed to have after you come from work or whatever it is that y'all doing. Y'all want to be peaceful. So if you always finding some shit to talk about, then that's not peace. That means you don't respect him.
One at a time, y'all.
One at a time.
The moment them shoes ain't there.
Let me just say this one thing, because you said you brought this up. Most people are not in a situation where the man is the only one out there being the breadwinner, working all day and doing all of those things. Now, if that was the case, if I was an at-home mom and, he worked and then came home, I don't think the argument or the discussion about the shoes would be as big of a deal, because the only thing I'm doing when he comes home is putting his shoes on the shoe thing.
That wasn't my example.
You got power because you're going to work.
That wasn't my example.
Hold on.
Y'all, one at a time, y'all.
Hold on. So if I am at work all day and I come home, most of the time, especially in my house, I am the one that contributes to cleaning the house most of the time. So I'm coming home, I've cleaned the house all day, I've gone to work, I come home, and for me, it's a matter of respect. Wow, I'm coming home to a clean house. I don't see any shoes. Let me just put my shoes in a shoe bin. It doesn't take a whole lot. I feel a level of disrespect if I clean the house from top to bottom and then you come right behind me and mess up the house. That's like me going to your job and just throwing all your papers all over the floor. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of having common courtesy for each other. Now, if I say, babe, can you put your shoes in the thing? He doesn't have a problem with it. Even like we had a rule in our house. He told me it bothers him when I come in the house on the phone. It does something with his peace. He wants that first time when we meet for us to have some, break time with each other to kind of get on the same page or whatever when we first come home. And for me, the exchange was, I understand. So if we're looking at peace, these are things that bother me. When I come in a house and I see shoes all over the place, for me, it automatically sends me into my next job move. Now I got to come home and do another job. And so out of respect for each other, we respect that because we know that's a level of a peace that each one of us need when we come in a house. So
that could be a problem. That could be a problem.
I agree to that. I think that people should respect each other in that way. I agree. But then there's some people who they express it very aggressively. So if someone's leaving their shoes, then you could pick it up and be like, hey, I want, just say it in a different way. I want the shoes to be in this space. I picked it up for you, and just be nice. Just, keep constantly being nice about it. That's all I'm saying. You could do those things, but don't
Hold
be
on,
all
bro.
aggressive.
It's simply. Go ahead. Andy. Hold on.
So,
Hold
go
on.
ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that Lady Di had kind of said it at first, but it starts in the household. So all of those like familiar differences start in the household. Like when a woman grows up without a father figure, she doesn't know how to take the tone of a man. Like I said, I was surrounded by my stepdad, my dad. I knew when they said something. My mom knew when they said something. It was like, that was it. It was law. There was no back and forth. There was no, and that started off in the home. Same with men. Like Bruiser was talking about a man breaking a window. That's lack of learning how to like deal and manage negative emotion as a man. Because a man can make his point and express his emotion without doing it in a way that escalates to breaking stuff. You know what I mean? Like doing things like that. And I get that things are like passionate or heated, but that is definitely something that starts in the home. And you have to acknowledge like, hey, this is a broken area. Like we've been conditioned to aggressively communicate. Let's be cognitive of it and change that. Like, that's why I'm like, a lot of couples, when they first get married, don't realize that they have differing communication styles. Like, how did your mom talk to your dad? Or how did your dad talk to your mom? Or how did you guys communicate when you leave the, like you said, like shoes on the floor? Or how does that make that person feel? So like learning how to communicate without allowing escalation. Like,
Man, look, all I'm gonna say is this, man. Y'all gotta understand that just like y'all go through shit in y'all life, y'all deal with emotions. Y'all got these phases y'all go through when y'all on your damn periods. You got these phases y'all go through after pregnancy, postpartum, and y'all lack doing shit and y'all just be mentally disconnected. We got the same shit. Sometimes but ours is real simple. Sometimes we just be damn tired and we forget to leave our shoes at the door. We got most emotions too. We got feelings too, but y'all don't look at that. Y'all can't just say, oh, maybe he had a hard day at work. I'll pick his shoes up. Look at all the shit this man has done for you before you start saying, hey, look, babe, I need you to do this. Man, look, if it was a cell phone that we left at the door, y'all wouldn't be talking about y'all would have went through that motherfucker. Y'all wouldn't be, I'm like, hey, babe, you left your cell phone. Had that same energy with my goddamn Jordans. Had the same damn energy.
Facts. I hear you. Women want to win battles. Men are out to win the war. And I think if more women thought that way and just said, okay, is this war like or is this battle like? You know what I mean? Is this a little thing or is this a big thing? Because if it's a little thing, just finding ways to actually say, I with my studies, you can say anything. A lot of people just don't find the words or they don't know extra words on how to say it, but you can get anything you want to say across by just choosing your words wisely. And I think that women need to choose their words just a little bit more wisely. That's all.
Just keep
and
it.
Just be thankful. Just be thankful. You got somebody to fucking leave their shoes somewhere. Because the moment that motherfucker walk out and you don't see them sneakers at the door, you're gonna break down, cry.
You're gonna wish you left them at
I miss being able to clean up after him. I miss being able to take his sneakers and put them in.
Using that as an example, but what I'm trying to say, it's about having mutual respect for one another. It's not just on the woman to look to make, to brush things on. Oh, let me just pick up the shoes. Oh, let me just do this. Let me do that. It's about when you have mutual respect for one another, you want to consider how the other person feels in everything that you do. And
we're more emotional though, so we have to usher men into that. We're way more emotional than men are.
If he loves and he respects you, he is going to make the adjustments. Just like if you love and respect the partner that you're with, you're going to make adjustments.
But y'all judge before y'all question us.
When you live by yourself, you don't have to worry about anybody else but yourself. And so you're just doing certain things. But when you're in relation with somebody else, you're always going to have to make adjustments and adapt to make sure that you're maintaining a mutual.
It ain't always anecdotal though, Miss Taken. You making it all scientific.
It's not anecdotal. Everybody wants
textbook. It's not always textbook situation.
Well, where's the respect that when y'all start yelling and raising your voices? Where's the respect at then? When y'all start to want to fight over these goddamn shoes that we left on the floor. Where's the respect at then? There is none. Man, they don't give a goddamn about us. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it many more times. Most of these chicks don't give a goddamn about your black ass if they're not benefiting from anything you do. They're not. To the point where they will argue and fight and ready to leave you and divorce your ass over a pair of shoes on the floor.
The difference is the level of
what you goddamn shoes. Don't let them shoes be dirty. Your ass ain't gonna stand a goddamn chance.
The level that women are complaining is, I think, the problem. Like shoes, you see, we talking about shoes. I know there's a woman that I know who her man, let's say, he doesn't clean up after himself. So there's her room. You got her side, you got his side. His side is fucked up. Her side is not. Okay. And that looks stupid because she doesn't want to help him be better and, let's say, be more clean. So it's a way to go about it. I'm not saying that he's an adult, he should know how to be clean, but we don't know how he was raised. His mom probably let him stay in a slob. So as a wife, you sit there and try to say, hey, I see that you're you're not tidy. This is how I do it. Be the example and show him. Don't just let the damn room be dirty. That's stupid. Be a team player and help things get done. Even if you have to clean that side for a year. So what? Just clean it up. Figure out how to get him to be like that and then work on it. Nobody's going to stay dirty for no damn 20
Girl,
years.
you're going to have to throw it back a little bit more, mistaken. I'm just saying, like.
Exactly. Y'all wonder why y'all getting quickies all the time.
No. My thing is this. I'm in a position like y'all, some of y'all know, like I've been married for 19 years. And it was a lot of growing processes. In the beginning, it was a lot of issues because when you're young, you are self-centered. Both men and women both are very self-centered about getting their needs met. The older you get and the more you see by working together as a team, by honoring and respecting each other, you get further. And so I know we're using the shoes as an example. And of course, it's an extreme that, I'm going to get a divorce over some shoes. No, but we did better once we begin to have those conversations. And I get to tell you that, this is what bothers me and it will help me if you can do this. And vice versa. This bothers me, so I'm going to need you to do X, Y, and Z. And so what we do out of mutual respect for each other, because we both want peace in our house, we try to honor what each other wants. And that's what it boils down to. My husband is not as neat as I am, so some stuff it slides. But stuff that is really like, I know is going to be an issue, like the kitchen, it needs to stay clean. The living room needs to stay clean. Because if anybody comes in, I don't want my house to be a mess. Like how y'all say, y'all will be judged if y'all lived out on the street and it'd be like, oh man, how her husband didn't do that. Women are going to be judged by the way their house is kept. So I want my house to be neat. Him coming in, throwing his clothes, or he comes in for work as a trail of shoes, then his clothes is hanging on a banister and all of those things. Just when you're on your way upstairs, just grab all of that and bring that upstairs with you. That's it. It's just having mutual respect for one another.
Mistaken. I know you when you want to put out there, you've been married for 19 years and you take progress to get it. Some people learn how to ride a bike in a month. Hell, I learned how to ride that bitch in 2 days. All I'm saying is, y'all women don't do everything perfect. Sometimes y'all skip out on days y'all cook. Babe, I ain't cook nothing. You're gonna have to go and get some. You don't never hear say, oh hell no, you gonna have to. We be like, all right, cool. What you want to eat? You know what I'm saying? Got to use that same energy. You don't always keep shit clean.
Grace.
I mean, I see the blinds behind you. The blinds you got behind you got a little dust on them. So
that is my point. Having mutual respect for one another. Neither one of us are perfect. We're gonna mess up sometimes, and we both need grace. But what I'm saying is that in the house, this is our house, and we both appreciate having a clean house. So it's going to take both of us to make sure we maintain that. Just respect each other. If he wants some ass and then he asks me to throw it back a certain way, guess what I'm going to do?
No, see, but that's unfair. You said it take both of y'all to have a clean house, but it only take one of y'all to protect the house. Whenever somebody march up in that motherfucker, who ducking and who running?
Well, as a single woman, fortunately, I have lived a great amount of life, and not having, thankfully, all of you predators, you've not come to my house, and I hope to continue it to be that way. But I would assume that she will probably do the same thing that I would do, and that's hide.
I wish my motherfucking wife would tell me to go move some shoes. The next time she come tell me to move some shoes, if she ever do, and if you listening, motherfucker, when I go outside to move them garbage cans, I want you to grab the one that say recycle. I ain't gonna give you the one that say trash because I know that's a little heavy. But you gonna help me move
my husband
garbage
with the
cans.
garbage.
You want me to help you clean the house? Come outside and help me cut the grass, and you can weed eat and all that shit. How about that?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Mutual respect. I do help my husband even with the trash. I gather up the trash cans upstairs and put them in a bigger bag.
That ain't no help. You gotta come on, man.
But then he can come downstairs and take all of the trash. And then when he takes the trash out, I put the trash in the garbage bag. Again, like I said, it's mutual respect. Am I taking the trash to the curb? No, that's his part, but I play a part in helping. And that's what I'm saying. He plays a part in helping. So both of us can make our lives easier and have more time to spend with each other.
All right.
So, yeah, everybody's household
you
is
gonna
different.
see with that kind of
Go ahead,
mindset, you gonna get a lot of cookies.
So let's get a anybody else wanting to get one more final thought? Just one more person? Okay. All right. If you guys just
I think just bottom line, the way men communicate is because the stakes are higher. You know, naturally, we've probably been punched in the face. We've been arrested. We understand how our communication can change everything. You know, I'm sure plenty of times y'all have watched, videos online of some woman communicating incorrectly and her man gets beat up as a result of that. You know what I mean? Like, there needs to be control of that. We know that the stakes are higher. We know how that can end up, and it's not good for us whenever we get elevated. So we have a governor on that. Like, okay, let me go ahead and walk away, because once this goes, I have no control over it.
And can I ask the ladies one simple question? And I'm done. I'm done picking on Miss Taken. My bad if I've been picking on it. Why, when y'all elevate us to the level that we don't want to get to, like sort of like to Jay's point, story to tell. Whenever we resolve the situation, why do y'all think we supposed to be back normal? Like, we supposed to just walk back into, okay, hey baby, I love you, and then let's go have sex. No, sometimes we don't. After that, man, look, let me calm all the way down. But y'all be like, oh, we already resolved it, so now you got to say you love me and come kissing her. No, hell no, you gonna wait on that. Why y'all always wanted to be just an instant switch back to normal? Like, how do y'all do that? Y'all do that easily.
I don't know no, I don't know about that. It take me a while to calm down, but I don't know if that's most women or men. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sometimes women just want to be pardoned for their, behavior, I would say. And so they just want you to snap right back like nothing even happened, when that's not the case. And that's just, kind of falling into not really taking accountability of what, is going on. You know what I mean? You want a man to be back regular after you done yelled at him. You probably done called him out his name. Y'all, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to take accountability and just be like, I know I was the cause for that. It's part of women just trying to be pardoned for their childlike ways.
That's mental health. Like, you need some mood stabilizers, because that's not normal. Like, that's not like going from that extreme to that extreme. Like, that is not like normal. Like, most women also need some time, because 9 times out of 10 it was a blow for blow thing. It wasn't like one-sided.
All right, let's move on, because I feel like I just told on my wife. Let's move on.
Hit the like button if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Welcome to LAPEEF-ING Sundays. John the Baptist $10 says college is a scam. I would not advise anyone to spend $50,000 to $80,000 against future earning trade school. And within 2 to 5 years of working, can earn $80,000 plus easily and spend less. Shout out to I did remember already. DAP DH Harris $5. I'm not going to argue with you while you are getting loud and animated. I'm going to smile in your face and walk away until you are done. Women are sometimes confused about it because they have nobody to argue with. DAP DH Harris $5 says, to me, people argue because they don't know how to maturity express themselves. Ash 499, also a member. I am loving the real precious comments. Very sound and logical perspective. Bring her back. Mr. 499, also remember the man should keep his crew in check no matter what tone, no matter who's watching. This boat will make it to its destination with or without her. MK Rich 199 says that bruiser just had a PTSD in that bread example. Mr. 499, also remember skeletons come out of the closet and chase you all around the room. Memories sail around like a ghost and dance around to a sad, slow tune. Bigot, $11, $20. The one thing that I will have in my house is peace, and mutual respect doesn't mean kissing your ass, Sarah. Because of how someone outside your house thinks of you, if it bothers you that much, then go from mistaken to misgone. All right. Y'all quiet or something like that. I need to call HR, fill out that hurt feelings report. I mean, are we all on the same page, or are we at the end of the chapter? What, the book is over? Oh, Ash again. Hold on. 49.99. Also remember, Ash came with my wife needs my love, affection, and attention. I require from my wife her respect, loyalty, and devotion. This is the secret to a successful marriage according to Genesis. Men, love your wife, and women, submit to your husband. Said it's simple. Shout out to Ash for that donation.
Salute, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Salute.
Gotta ask the women on the panel a question and keep it brief. Do you think sex to men is what attention is to women? Yes? No?
What do you mean?
Do you think sex to men is what attention is to women? Sex to men is what attention is to women.
Do you think it's the equivalent?
I would say to maybe immature men, like who are always trying to chase a piece of ass, but I don't think sex to mature men is like attention to women.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, other ladies on the panel. Don't all speak at once.
I actually agree with the real. I think it depends on the age and stage you are in the relationship. I think the older you are, you realize certain things like, sex doesn't necessarily become the most important thing. Just like attention, you realize you're going to get it sometimes and then sometimes you won't. I think you find a different level of priority the older you get.
Now, don't mistake me. I think it is important. I do think that it is important. But women want attention all the time, whereas
I
men.
just want y'all to answer the question. Y'all going.
Sorry.
I just want to know: do you think sex to men is what attention is to women? Yes or no?
I say yes.
Okay, you said no. The real precious, mistaken. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Andy.
No.
Shan.
I'm in between. I must say, I'm in between. I would elaborate, but I'm trying not to. I know how you like, I'm trying to get all deep, but I'm in between.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of open up this next topic because it is the meat. And we know the ladies like the meat. Precious. That's what we say on here. It's time to get to the meat. We at the meat, and we know the ladies like the meat.
Ow.
Y'all so dry when we talk about the meat.
I did my little dance.
Ow, for me.
Okay. Well, that's how we do over here. Anyhow,
let's get to the meat.
Let's go ahead and get to the meat. Sex to men is what attention is to women. So I do have this clip, and it's I broke it up. It's a segment. So the first thing that I ask you guys is, do you think, ladies, sex to men is what attention is to women? And the panel of women gave their thoughts. I'm gonna go ahead and play this first clip.
I think men seek intimacy through sex. So I think they don't know how to be intimate in different
yes or
ways.
No? Yes or no?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you think sex is to men what attention is to women?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so would you argue that we cheat on men by having open Instagram accounts while in a relationship?
Wait. She's like, wait, what was the question?
I said, is sex to men what attention is to women? You all said yes. Please don't change it now. So could we argue that we cheat by having open Instagram accounts while in a relationship?
No.
Posting first trap,
You could do that.
having the men like all the pictures. No, because
we just agreed.
Understand the analogy.
They're the same.
They're the same,
right? Please don't go back on it
Attention.
now.
So
Trap card.
Okay, so you guys heard the little clip, and again, I do have some more clips. So if I sense you're jumping too far into the attention conversation, then I might stop you from doing it. But do we cheat by having open Instagram accounts while in a relationship? If you guys said that it was equivalent.
I mean, if the woman is posting not for a purpose, like, you know, just posting her body, that's inappropriate. But if she has a purpose on what she posts, maybe to inform something, to teach, then I wouldn't say that that's cheating. But most women today, I guess they're not doing that. So it will be considered cheating if the man thinks it is.
Okay. Mistaken. I think you was one. Who else said yes, that it's equivalent? Shan, I think you say yes.
Well, I said I'm in between, but all I can do is go by for me. Like, I'm not. If you follow me, you can see I don't post very often. But let there be a guy that I really I don't. But let there be a guy that I really like following me. I'm not necessarily looking for everybody's attention. I'm just looking for his attention. Does that make sense? That's just how I do. So I'm not looking for the masses, but if I do have my eye on somebody, I will look for his attention in a classy way, of course. And that's when you'll probably see people, you're like, she ain't posting, must be a guy. Yep, it probably is. But that's just for me. But I do know a lot of women who they thrive on attention. Some younger girls especially, it's like they are stuck on their phone. It's about attention. I've never seen so many people who can take a selfie of themselves in my life. It's almost ridiculous. So with that being said, I would just have to say it's of great importance. And I know sex is of great importance to a man. So with me putting those two together, I will say that you should probably, if you're one of those attention-seeking people, put your Instagram away. Because I know if I had a man, I wouldn't mind putting mine away.
Okay.
I mean, I have an Instagram account, and I go along. I agree with what Lady Di is saying. I think it all depends on what you're posting on your account.
Put that down.
A lot of stuff that I have on mine is not nothing. So yeah, if you go to my account, it's not a bunch of stuff.
If you're putting feet up in the camera, that's something now. Mistaken.
Feet?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
We got OnlyFans, it's just feet now.
Okay, I don't have OnlyFans. So I do. I think it's a level of attention that you're seeking, like the level of attention that I'm gonna seek from my husband, which is the only attention that I really care about at this stage in my life. But I could say when I was younger, because I was trying to look for somebody, then it mattered the amount of attention that I got until I caught that one person. So I think it changes.
I got a question for the men. Are any of the men on the panel putting up thirst traps on IG at all?
I've seen that all the time when they're in the gym and they're trying to show like their body and showing men try to do that too.
I mean, you work with what you got. You work with what you got, you know. If you a dude with muscles, you know, you show off the muscles. If you a dude with pretty eyes, you know, in the right sunlight, you know. So you work with what you
doing, bro?
I mean, if they're no, but also two ugly guys. We just talked about this yesterday on the panel.
This is not a thirst trap.
But they post their money. That's a form of thirst trapping on social media. They're posting the VVS's, the cars, the this, the that. Like social media, period, is for attention most of the time.
Or another thirst trap. A dude's in the car driving, you know, hand on the steering wheel, you'll see the steering wheel, his arm with the expensive watch. You know, that's a thirst trap. Oh, this nigga got a Rollie.
Or
So
you
it's
see the
different
dashboard with
forms.
the Mercedes, or the steering wheel with the Mercedes symbol or something like.
Or
But
it has one on the back of on the headrest. They
yeah,
like,
bingo.
You can see.
Yeah, but is that cheating for a man though? Like,
he's looking for attention from a certain type of woman. He's looking for attention from a certain.
Be careful, man. You said they're trying to switch it up on us.
Yeah,
off that trap now.
Yeah, y'all
I think some men and women are just natural.
All right, y'all did just try to switch it up. Y'all
I
tried to
said
say
no to the question. I said no.
Yes or no. But I think some men and women are just natural thirst traps. Some
you thought I
people
hit.
got to try, and some people don't have to try.
No, this is it right here. The guys do that so they can get more sex.
Hey man, speak up, man. Speak up, man. You see what they're doing here?
And so is there
Hold on.
Going back to what you were saying, I agree. Yeah.
It's typical. It's typical woman. Y'all do what y'all do best. Flip the script, blame, shame us, talk bad about us. That's what you're doing right now, currently as we speaking.
It's not a shaming thing, but sex.
Yeah, it's exactly shaming thing.
No, sex and attention are both equally.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Y'all doing it, but yes, y'all doing it. Y'all, if it is not something about our tone or the way we deliver it, the way we say it, it's another tactic. What y'all doing now? Talking about we showing off our watches. Come on, really? When y'all send y'all thirst trap, when y'all shirts be cut low and y'all showing cleavage, y'all doing that, but yet y'all say some of y'all ladies who wear glasses, y'all put your glasses down, trying to look sexy with your duck lips. Y'all do it all the time.
We can see, and we should be wearing glasses, but we don't want to wear them because we want to try to thirst.
Y'all do that thirst trap shit all the time. I mean, there we are. Good job, Mistaken. You showed you gave a good example right then and there.
I'm not wearing mine.
I don't care how old you are or how young you are. Y'all do it all the time. So I know Shantae put an age on it, say a lot of the young girls. No, every woman does it. That's on them IGs and is promoting themselves like that. Yeah. And if they're not promoting their business or not promoting their husband business or whatever the case may be, they're doing thirst traps.
I think it's more of a single population, though. Would you not agree? That's
married women do it too.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
But like family pictures, they post family pictures.
Steph Curry's wife sit there and talk about the lack of attention she's getting, that she wants more attention. She was one of the main ones out the pro. And guess what other woman was there? Girl, you right. You deserve that attention. I know your husband getting attention. Now she's in her feelings because her husband is getting more attention than she is. So what she want to do?
It's social.
Talk about the lack of attention she's getting.
Ooh. Social media, though, like that's the entire point is social media. It doesn't say, go to LinkedIn if you're trying to not trying to be funny, but there's levels to it. Like IG is specifically for like sharing, oversharing. People do it on Facebook all the time. Oversharing. It's become a new trending thing. Like
oversharing that ass.
That's just what it is. Not oversharing your ass, just oversharing, period. People really get on there and start taking selfies of themselves in the hospital. Why the hell are you doing it?
Yeah, but it's selfie with your cleavage showing though.
No, I'm saying like it's just an overinflation of seeking attention on a basis.
Because I post a picture of a watch with diamonds and all that shit, and I ain't never get no DMs, none of that shit. So we can't sit here and say it's the same thing.
A certain level that is going to follow or be attracted to you or follow back. When we go on a guy's page, if a guy follows me and I go back and I'm like looking and vetting and seeing like you're seeing the type
you vetted him.
If
you vetted him through his pro, that's why you single. See,
it's not why I'm single. I'm 27 years old. That's the way that times are for me.
Danger zone.
My age bracket.
No, I agree with her on that. Like, if you're dating somebody, I find like if I date a guy and I don't know him, it's like I met someone on a dating app and I go to his Facebook, it just makes him more real. If I can see his friends, if I can see how he interacts with his family, that's a red flag, especially in the day of trafficking. If he don't got pictures of nothing, he just. So people use
that.
So for men, that's a red flag for y'all ladies.
He could be private. Not everybody wants to put their life out there, so that doesn't mean that.
I mean, it's more to it than that. Obviously, he has to like if there's something a red flag about him, but then I want to go dig and see about him.
It's better to meet them in person.
You can say what you want to say, but there are predators in the ATL, especially. So you can try to figure it out any way you can. Hush your mouth.
Let me get Ricky in there, y'all. Go ahead, Ricky.
Shout out. What's up, panel? How y'all doing? Happy Sunday. Happy.
Rigger.
What's good? Yeah.
What's good? Man,
They liars,
bro. Y'all some liars, bro. Like, I want to address what Sharon said. Like, yeah, Facebook, but that's how they know to set you up for the okie doke, because they know that's how y'all look for exposure. That's how y'all expose yourselves, right? Let's be real, right? About the actual question. Most of the women on this panel said that sex to men is what attention is to women, right? So if y'all was being thorough, the question would have been answered and we'd be off this subject already. Because again, like I said, the things by not y'all, it's never anybody on this panel, guys. I gotta say, I need y'all to listen.
Did you hear what I said?
There's never anybody on this panel, right? But generalizations exist for a reason, right? Because otherwise we wouldn't be up here talking about it, right? Now, by women's very standards, what y'all call cheating is the thing y'all do to y'all man every day and don't even think about it. Emotionally cheating, a work husband, tell your family everything about your boyfriend and your husband and don't care about how it make him feel if it get back, right? Talk down to him to your kids. Y'all say at the same point that sex to men is what attention is to women, but then when we say, why you out here dressing scantily, right? Y'all say it's because it make you feel better, but we know you dress like that to get men's attention. I had women argue me down on other panels saying, oh, when I go out with my man, I should be able to dress like this and that, right? To put your man in a situation, because no matter what y'all say, it's whether you with a man or not. If you dressing like that, you looking for other people's attention. What is this? Like I said, are we conditioning? Are we gonna keep being traditional tradition with conditions? We need to really be honest that y'all want the game one way. Y'all want the game one way, right? Y'all do this shit and don't even think about it and don't even care about the way your man feel about it. Don't even care. As a matter of fact, y'all do what y'all do all the time. Move the goalpost and then talk to that man and make him feel like he crazy for feeling the way he do. And better yet, say when I express myself, I should be sturdy and walk away because you go off the cliff. That's all I got, Jay. Y'all have a great day.
Anybody wanna
drop a Kamehameha on it?
I mean, I was saying earlier that women shouldn't be seeking attention like that on social media. It should be purpose driven. And if you're not doing that, then that's a problem. And then, with the man, men require a lot of sex. There's nothing wrong with that. But women should just be making sure that they giving the same energy and respect to their man. That's it.
When y'all see that, I got a question, ladies. When y'all see them likes go from 2 likes to 22,000 likes within an hour, does it turn you on? Does it make it wet down there?
I ain't never had 22,000 likes.
That's weird. Brizza, that's weird. That is weird. Like, if somebody is getting turned on by their likes on social media.
It's some women, I do think they thrive on them likes, though.
You really gonna say that's weird?
Hold on, it's a dopamine thing. Like, people literally psychologically feed off of it, but that's to say that she psychologically gets turned on. That's fucking weird. That's weird.
For that woman, it's probably a validation.
Let me go a little deeper. Let me give you the whole thing. Hold on, wait. I ain't mean to say it like that. Let me just go a little deeper. So you saying I might about to be admit something? I don't got no motherfucking shame. You telling me that y'all don't touch down there? Y'all don't see guys that y'all can't get with, guys y'all know y'all can't have sex with, but y'all want to. But y'all don't look at their profile. Y'all don't touch down there a little bit sometimes.
I don't think he's asking that question personally. I just think if you know somebody that knows somebody that may have done it.
Yeah.
There's a post out that
weird.
They were asking men and women, or they were asking women, would you rather have a long-term relationship or would you rather have Instagram? And all the women in the room said they would rather have Instagram, which I thought was crazy because it's like we live in a day and age now. Like I was around before Instagram. So my man wanted me to get rid of Instagram. Instagram is gone. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's not necessarily reality. You're not seeing my whole life anyway. So even the parts that you are seeing, if it got to be gone, it got to be gone. But there are women who would rather have Instagram than have a long lasting relationship, which I think is just crazy. It's crazy and sad, might I add.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play this second clip. I told you it was a long clip, so I kind of want to calm through it real quick. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and play this second clip.
So women love attention.
Yeah.
Right?
And men love sex.
And men love sex,
Yeah.
right? So if you love attention, the dopamine rush that you get from all these likes and all this stuff, right? And imagine you've got a man,
Yeah.
right? However, you're posting all these pictures and you're getting this dopamine rush from all these guys saying, "Oh my God, you're beautiful. Oh my God, you're amazing." Da, 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 da.
Oh, thank you.
Do you think that's the same as cheating?
No.
Emotionally, I do think so.
I think everywhere you go, men look anyways. Not like. I feel like you get stared at anyways everywhere that you go when you post on Instagram. So I don't think it's like cheating. I just think it's the
I mean, you're choosing to post on Instagram though.
Yeah,
Like-
but how was that cheat though? I mean, you're posting Instagram pictures.
What about-
Yeah,
you're doing it-
if
you're not taking
it beyond that, then I don't think it is cheating.
Why are
You
you
don't
posting on
reply to
Instagram?
it,
Why?
For what reason? are you
For
posting?
yourself.
For you, so that you can feel good and get
So you
attention.
can no, but if
Well, then
okay, forget about the attention, but you know
why don't you just take the picture on your camera roll and keep it there?
No, because you feel when you take a picture and you look at it, you feel wow, like this would be good for my Instagram, or I would post it.
So you put it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So what would be the difference? Because remember, the picture's to make you feel good.
Yeah.
So what would make you feel good on Instagram?
The likes, the comments.
Okay, the attention.
Yeah. The attention.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're back.
Right.
Full circle. And what I'm not doing, I'm not trying to advocate for cheating. I don't think it's okay. I just think we have to understand where the guys are coming from.
You can have
we expect monogamy and we judge them for cheating, but yet we're not virgins. Yet we have open Instagram accounts. Yet we come in with a child. It's like, and then we're gonna say, "Be faithful to me," and they're like, "What?"
Any thoughts about that? Make sense?
I mean,
let's go to Shan. Let's get Shannon.
Okay, so I understand completely what she's saying. I think that women do get a thrive off of the likes, and I feel like if you're in a relationship with someone and you're serious about the relationship, you should not be posting family unless it's your family and he's in the picture too. You should not be posting pictures of yourself trying to get the attention of other men. I agree that is a form of cheating. I can see that as a form of cheating. On the flip side, though, are we saying that penetration and posting is the same? That should be the same level of cheating? Is that what we're saying? I understand. I do agree that it is a form of like it. Now that you put it out there, I don't think it's common sense, but now that you said it, I think that now that I look at it, I can see where that can be bothersome to my mate, and that you should not do that. And I can respect that, but I don't think that it's the same as him entering a female, maybe him talking to one, but not, I think that there are levels to cheating.
That's cheating. That's just like abuse is abuse. If I psychologically abuse you, but I don't physically abuse you, but I psychologically abuse, but it still is under the same umbrella as abuse. I don't understand. If you're mentally cheating on me, man, you're emotionally cheating on me, you're wrong. You dead wrong. It's only a matter of time when you get to the physical. It's only a matter of time.
So if that
Technology
bothers
is
you, I think that the communication needs to be there. If that bothers you, you know what bothers you, because some men just don't care. Like, if y'all like to say that all men are the same, the man I date likes me to be nice looking when I go out with him, and that may be I don't be a thought, but he likes me to be because he likes me to compliment him. But when it comes to Instagram, if I have a man who does not agree with that feels like I should not be posting out of respect for him, I feel like what we were talking about earlier, it's a respect thing. You should take it down. You shouldn't have an IG. There are things in a relationship you should just be respectful for. So if that is a form of cheating, then take it down. It's not that, just take it down.
It's not just respect. It's just the attention that you're getting, like the attention from men. So now you having men enter into your DMs because you posted this, this absurd picture. So just having respect of what type of picture you're posting, really. But at the same time, like when I got married, I stopped posting pictures of myself. I used to just post me, and then it was me and my husband all the time, or me and my kids. So I rarely post of myself, but if I do, it's only, like I said, for a purpose. So I think once you get with that man, obviously have the conversation. Most men are going to be the same. They don't want you out there just posting random pictures of yourself. If it's not you and your man, then maybe sometimes you shouldn't post it.
I think that this whole conversation is really fucking, I'm gonna keep saying it. I hate to say it like this, but weird. Because the same person that's preaching this stuff on this platform has an open Instagram. She posts selfies as well. So like that whole saying like, oh, you can't make decisions of your body because you're not a virgin. Stop making these men wait because you're not a virgin. Stop making these men like, okay, then if you have a kid, if you're not a virgin and you post on social media, you don't deserve love. That's fucking weird. That is fucking weird. You don't deserve a healthy, communicative, respectful relationship. That is fucking weird.
When you shared all your value to somebody else.
Okay, so going and fucking someone else, because when most men cheat, they're not emotionally cheating. They're looking to penetrate the woman that they're interested in.
But that's what we're doing. We're doing here. We're trying to draw a parallel to what is cheating on a man's side versus a woman's side.
Well, women cheat physically too, though. We just cheat. Women cheat too physically.
We're not disputing that part. We're disputing that you guys
about guys who like girls twerking on TikTok.
We're revealing the dopamine, the same effect and emotions that flow through your body that you could get similar to whenever you actually lay down with a man. That's what we're drawing a parallel to and saying you're getting that through likes and comments and stuff. And shout out to Pearl. And if all these, one thing I just want to say, if black women out there are trying to push this narrative that Pearl is only out here speaking on black relationships, you just saw it for yourself. I think those are some white girls on there, right?
I don't think she's talking on black relationships. She's talking on relationships in modern dating, period. Like that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying. Like this notion that she's
not
talking about
herself, though. She's not a traditional woman herself, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, like, but see, let's not get stuck on this. Oh, I gotta be what I talk about.
But
I can talk about crime and all that stuff, but I don't necessarily got to be a participant in crime.
And she's not married either.
Yes,
can I point something out with this parallel? It's so crazy how we're drawing this parallel, and as men, everybody's on the same accord. But last week, I can't remember if it was on the Monday show. Yeah, it was on Monday show. I drew the same parallel about sex being to men, because men was justifying the cheating with having sex, and if they didn't have enough sex, then that gave them, the right to cheat, so to speak. But when I drew the same parallel that women see financial security as the same parallel to sex, and if you're not providing the financial security, does it give the woman to have the right to go out and meet a man that's going to provide that? That's so different. It's different. But, it's the same parallel.
No, financial security, sex parallel, that's prostitution.
As men, everybody's agreeing to this.
No.
I'm agreeing to this, but then when I said the same thing, drawing that same parallel that women see financial security at the same level, and if it justifies you to cheat because you're not getting the same amount of the same sex, then does it justify the woman to
It's
cheat?
not parallel. That's called prostitution.
What is that?
Sex for exchange for financial gains is
So
prostitution.
most races are prostitutes. Wow. Because I know we don't do it. I don't necessarily do it myself, but that's a lot. That's a lot of women who are prostitutes. Because most races of other cultures, that's what they do. They
If we could try to push it back to the topic, as far as what we were talking about, cheating and having open
That is
Instagram
on
account.
topic, bro. That's on topic.
One thing y'all got to understand about men, we know the DMs are not. They don't come from the food you post. They don't come from the promotions from your job. They don't come from the pets that you're taking pictures of. We know these DMs are coming from you showing your ass on Instagram. That's what we're talking about. And we're trying to draw a parallel to how does that compare to what we do as far as sex. And we came to an understanding that's a valid parallel that they were making on the video, right?
But men,
No.
Hold on. I'm gonna get Jay in there. Let me get Jay in there. Go ahead, Jay.
Nah, I'm not agreeing you posting, provocative pictures is cheating. Is actually cheating on your man, but that is along the lines of heading in that direction. That's the equivalent to us hopping in DM, whatever. When you put that out there, you're looking for something. You're not just, posting cleavage, legs, thigh. You're not doing all of that just to do it. You're doing it for attention. You're doing it for some type of gratification, or you're waiting for the right person. Like Shan mentioned, when I dress up and I post my pictures, I'm looking for a particular person. So when you put that out there, you're looking for a particular person, whether you are aware of it or not. You're putting that stuff out there so that hopefully who you're looking for hops in them DMs, and bingo, now I can shut it down because I've gotten who I wanted to reach out to me and they've reached out to me. So now I can shut the program down. And if you're in a relationship doing that, you're not happy. You're not happy who you're with because you're marketing yourself. That's marketing. I'm going to put this body out here. I'm going to put all of this, and we know what it is. We see it all the time. And then also social media sites, they add to the algorithm. I could pull up my Instagram right now. I guarantee the first 2 scrolls are going to be ass. And I went out my way to unfollow or unsubscribe to anything ass related. But bloop, my first 2 scrolls is going to be some chick with some baby oil butt cheeks and some lip gloss, And I'm like, how is this here? What is going on? Like, I thought I unsubscribed to all of this. Why do I need to see this? You know what I mean? So
because when you post your demographics on IG, what you just said, the analytics, it pushes things that, like, because you're a male, because you're of this certain age bracket, they put, like, even if you unfollow it, unsubscribe it. That's why I was saying, like, men by like analytical standpoint subscribe to more of that stuff. So they're just dropping it on your page because you put on your page, like when you went to go fill out your stuff, like you're a male, and then they read into all that stuff.
No, that's not how it works.
no,
Actually,
they read into what you view.
Yes.
And they push that to you.
Do you guys want me to pull up Instagram's analytics? Like, it literally will tell you that age.
You can call it whatever you want. It's all about when you go to discover, or when you search stuff, or when you click on stuff that pop up. If you actually stay there long enough and watch it, or if you like it, then the algorithm is going to put more of that type of content in front of you. Right. It's not when you fill out, hey, I'm a black man and I'm 22. Oh, it's just going to show you all ass. That's very like discriminatory. So IG sees this. IG sees this stuff that women are doing, and we see it, and they see it to a point to where if you get to 10,000 likes, people can become a member of your damn Instagram now. So now you can start earning. You can get monetized just because of you posting so many provocative images.
I was going to say that I like what Pearl is
Hold on,
doing.
we're going to get to Andy. I know Andy was trying to.
I'm sorry.
it's fine. Like, but you don't know. Do you study analytics on like, because that's like, I used to work in data and stuff like that. And it's literally like, I work for Whole Foods and I did it. Like, it's called trending and analytics and data. And like, people literally market themselves, their social media and stuff like that based off that. But there is a baseline for it. Like, literally, there are people that sit in the back office and they will push things based off of your demographic, your age, the location. It's not a discriminatory thing. It's the same thing with when you go into a job and you fill out Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. It's the same. It's analytics. And it
guess
pushes
what?
And it gives people
Well, guess
leverage.
what?
Hold on, bro. Let her finish. Go ahead.
It gives people leverage to market. So like if you go on and make a social media profile and you put, I work here, I do this, blah, 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 they are going to begin to drop plants and seeds. And then at the end of it, it says, show more content like this. I don't care about content like this. Like it literally says that stuff on there now.
Well,
like,
I used to write.
Paying attention to it, but it says that. Like it says, I don't care about this ad. I don't care about, and you might not even, but because we're having a conversation on a podcast about ass, now all of a sudden your phone is going to start showing you pictures of ass. It's analytics. It's literally data. It's trends. It's marketing.
That's my point. But and just, I know you say you do the marketing thing, but I was in the back end. I actually wrote code and I actually helped build algorithms to do some of this stuff. I'm a computer scientist, remember? I used to write
engineering as well. That's what I'm telling you.
I used to write logical pseudocode, all that kind of stuff, and transit into computer language and write this stuff. So I know that I could say certain words, and those words are picked up by voice recognition.
The algorithm.
And it triggers key phrases and keywords. I know all that stuff, but it's not. It's when you say demographics. Just to be clear, I'm not trying to purposely challenge you or disagree with you. I'm just saying, like, so when you say demographics, you saying whenever you enter your name, your email address, what you're into, like you're into music, you're into fashion or anything like this, or you're Black, or you in between 18 and 25. You're saying that based on those demographics, they show you stuff, or is that what you're saying?
So people don't even realize how much access you're giving to your cookies, your history, and your feed when you sign up with your email. When you sign up to social sites and stuff, like that's why there was that big controversy with like Facebook and stuff, because you were giving your data to a third-party company who now has access to your email. Your email is spammed out, or everyone gets spam emails. There's certain things that you click on. There's certain things that you talk about. There's certain wording. It's all analytics, data, and trending. And as long as you utilize the internet, there is no way, unless you put up like VPNs, firewalls, certain BitLock, like all types of stuff. Your stuff is not secure.
Okay,
like,
so I'll challenge you. I challenge you and everybody else that's watching this video to take one of the emails that you don't have associated with your Instagram. Just take one of your Google. I know everybody got multiple emails. Take an email, go and create an Instagram with your name and all that stuff, and tell me if you see ass and titties popping up in your. There's no way. You have to click through that stuff. You may see it might start like this. You may see a fitness video of somebody showcasing some clothing brand and they got some cheeks in there. But if you clicking the one that got the cheeks in it, then the cheeks gonna start turning to panties, and then the panties are gonna start turning to titties. It's a flow. It's like levels to it.
I think it's.
I don't know. We gotta move on, y'all. Gotta move on. Go ahead, Real Press. I know you.
I was gonna say I believe it, because I used to date somebody and he's like, oh, every time I put on my Instagram is ass and titties. I'm like, because that's what you clicking on. You can't sit up here and tell me that ass and titties is just popping up on your phone. And mind you, a man is a man, so I don't like you doing whatever you're doing on your phone, but you can't say that out of your mouth knowing that you don't have a part to play in it. And that's what Bruiser is saying.
I don't think
you have a part to play in a lot of things that pop up on your feed because you cater it to be what you like.
I think they both saying
I don't think nobody's wrong in this. I think it's, I mean,
saying the same thing.
Get it to you, they're gonna feed it to you. So I think, from the backdoor side, India is correct, and then I think there's some truth into what Bruce is saying as well. Once you start clicking, it just keep showing shit. Let me go ahead. We got 2 more clips right quick. You're gonna get to it. Hank, I'm coming to you next on this because I know you've been pretty quiet, and then we go to you, Lady there.
I think it should just be a discussion. So, like, if it's a case of, you know what, I want to still do this open Instagram thing, and you're in a relationship and he openly wants to go and have sex with other people, it's the have the conversation.
Yeah.
Like have that conversation.
Yeah, but the thing is,
You've got to
hang on, but the thing is,
communicate.
are most women ready for that conversation?
Hell no.
And plus, you can't get back your virginity.
No, I'm not on about getting back your own. I mean,
Hang on,
I might go to church and ask for it back.
Are most
Oh, you're talking about having a conversation about what are your thoughts about that, Hank? What was just said?
Most women don't want to have the conversation about that. Again, I talked about this in the basement. Talking about certain tough conversations you need to have before you even think about getting into a serious long-term relationship or even a marriage. Most women don't want to have them tough conversations because now they're gonna get called out on their bullshit. So like what Simple Indy saying was talking about, it's gonna be in your algorithm and talking about, well then ladies, why are y'all posting these thirst trap pictures like this then? Why are y'all even doing it? And especially the ones who are in relationships, in serious relationships, as well as even marriage. Why are y'all even doing those things? What other attention that you need to seek out from another man that's other than your main man or your husband? Why is this going down? And if it is, it's a problem. So now you're emotionally cheating on the man. Again, I'm gonna say it again. It's only a matter of time for you to take it to that next level. Because y'all seek that attention that y'all looking for, or that y'all feel like y'all not getting enough of from your significant others. That's a problem. That's a big problem. But let a man go out there and start giving another woman attention and see how you start to feel. See how the table's going to turn real fast. Because it's what you're doing. You're flirting. What y'all seeking attention in, and if somebody hit that like button, you're pretty much just flirting. That's all you're doing. Again, and it's going to go to that next step. It's only a matter of time.
All right, go ahead, Lady Dan.
Yeah, I agree with that. For the women who are in relationships, I think that most of them are posting like that because of they're insecure. Their man can be giving them attention, but it's not enough because they don't feel satisfied with themselves. So they need like a lot of it to feel pleased when they look at themselves in the mirror. And I like what Pearl is doing. She doesn't have to be married or anything to promote or bring awareness to a issue. She's just saying, hey, this is what's happening. And then in the video clip, you even seen, she brought an example and the lady was like, oh, okay, yeah, I do want attention. But then the question after that is, why do you want the attention? But no one is able to answer that because a lot of women don't know why they want the attention. But if they dig deep inside, it's insecurities. You don't need all of that when you're in a relationship. Seek attention from your man only and then move forward. And if you feel like you don't appreciate or love yourself as much, then that needs to be something that you seek therapy for, to see what's the underlying issue on why you need all of this attention, because you're getting attention from the wrong people and then get mad when everybody's in your DMs trying to, be all perverted. Well, if you're posting perverted pictures, you're going to get perverts in your DMs. And then the people that you're with, they're going to sit here and, you want those men. You want those men, and then you get mad because the man is questioning you about it. Well, men are visual. So if you're posting these type of things, they're going to come to you. So don't post stuff like that. Don't walk around like that unless that's a mutual agreement between you and your man. But most men are not trying to have you out there showing all your skin when it should just be to him anyway.
All right.
If I could just say one more thing, man. We just got to understand how men and women behave. And if we able to understand that, we can move forward. We can easily brush through these conversations, because we got to know that men thrive off the response to the attention that they give out. That's what gets us going. It's the reaction to the attention we give out. But women, they thrive off the attention, just period. You get what I'm saying? That's where it stops at for them. We can give out all the attention in the world. That shit don't do shit for us. But whenever we get whenever we respond, we get something, how you respond, you know what I'm saying, your body language to the attention that we give to you. Because we're givers. We're givers at heart. We're always the ones that's giving. But it only matters to us whenever we get the reaction we want.
I'm gonna play this this next clip, and then I want to go to Jay, and then we'll go to Mistaken and Indy. I'll play this next clip, and I'm gonna give you guys a preview. He did mention that a lot of women like men that cheat.
Because the thing is, I'm convinced that that a lot of women like men that cheat. Right, I'm actually convinced a lot of women like men that cheat.
Why?
Because once they cheat, because because you choose, you openly choose men that you know are attractive to other women. You as a matter of fact, you negate all of the regular dudes. You're like, it's lame. He's regular. I don't like him. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You negate. Let me finish. You negate the regular dudes, and you go for the dudes that you know that all the other women want too. But you feel special because you're like, I got him.
No,
I got him. Hang on. However you feel, but you know that there are plenty of women that are going to be throwing their knickers and throwing their panties at this guy, right? And so you know that there is a potential for that guy to be in a situation where he's going to cheat because women find him attractive.
Well,
so you don't choose men that are average looking, average earning, and average height. You know that you choose men that are. You want to choose men that are above average in all of those categories.
My son's dad was earning the same as me.
Okay, let's guys, would you date a 5'8" slate?
6'3".
Okay. Guys, would you date would you date a 5'8"? How much, what's the average salary here? 35,000?
35K.
Okay, 5'8", $35,000, slightly overweight.
35 pounds. 35,000 pounds.
Sorry, pounds. 35,000 pounds, slightly overweight guy.
I have.
Banksy up there back then. Would you date Banksy back then? Would you date him?
Okay. So I have a question. You said you have.
But it depends.
Why are you with him?
It depends what average is. Though.
Okay,
like
35,000 pounds.
But I don't ask people. I don't ask people what they earn.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can roughly know based on his job. Attention.
Okay, so he said a lot of women like men that cheat. Go ahead, Jay. What are your thoughts about it? See, Shan set up on this one.
Nah, I mean, I think women look for men. Majority of women look for men that men want to be and women want to be with. That's the cliche term. So naturally, with that type of man, there are going to be other things that go along with them. You know what I mean? If you in high demand, you got to fill those demands one way or the other. So, I mean, I definitely think that's an accurate statement.
Go ahead, Mistaken.
I don't think women look or purposefully look for cheating men. I think people are attracted to what they find attractive. That's across the board. Most men want 10s, most women want 10s, right? So I don't think is I'm purposely choosing a 10 and I want him to cheat. I think that they understand what may come along with that if they get a 10, just like men know that if they have a 10 woman, that she's going to come with a lot of attention. Like a lot of men are going to pay attention, just like women know if they get a 10 man, that there's going to be a lot of women that are going to want their man. But I think on both, neither one of them want them to cheat. So I don't think that's their purpose.
Can I respond?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, can I just say one thing? Y'all saw how succinct I was with that? See? I'm learning.
I think women as two things. Women want a man with experience because they're going to play a man that they say, oh, you're not stroking it right. And I think that that's silly. And then a lot of women they like to be in competition with the next female. We do it even if you're not in a relationship. It's like, oh, her hair looks like that. Her nails are this way. She's wearing that outfit. Wow, it costs this much. She has that bag. It's like we're always competing. So when you get with a man, you're still trying to do the same thing when you shouldn't be even seeking nothing like that. Because once you start having that competition spirit, competitive spirit, when you're in a relationship, you're allowing more women to come into your relationship because you're not doing the things you want to do. And you don't want to work hard to keep your relationship. that's an excuse to me for a woman that want a man that's cheating. They just want to work and be in competition with the next person when they could just do what they need to do to be a good person.
Are they saying that women are going after men who are the most desirable, and so they're going to cheat? Is that what is being said?
Pretty much.
That's what I get from it.
Well, look at it like this.
Oh,
If women are going after the most desired man, usually the men have more options than the regular guy, the regular Joe.
Right.
And a lot of times those guys tend to exercise those options. And we know that women know that. And if they don't know that today, then something wrong with them.
And women are naive enough to believe that I can change him. Like, yeah, he's
That's Jay. You just
yeah, no, man.
there is something about getting a guy who has all these options to commit himself to you. That guy that's 6'3", that he's getting chose, not always doing the choosing. Because there are guys out there that are getting chose. They don't have to do a damn thing. They're getting chose. And so for him to pick and choose you and sit down with you or make you a wife, or when he has open-ended access to all that, there is something like ego inflating about that.
Well, at the beginning, did they say, would you be willing to have a conversation about that? Because that's how we started this, right? And most said that most women wouldn't want to have that conversation, when I think most women should have that conversation, because you have to look at the reality of the situation, and not, like Indy said, you trying to change a man, because you're not going to be able to change a man. So, most women should be having those conversations, so they're not living in some la la land, when things happen, or when he does go to the next woman or gives the next woman attention, and she's stuck like, well, why are you not giving me all this attention? Where is it going to? Knowing that it's going to another woman. I think women need to be more honest about it. You know what I mean? I think a lot of women are living poly lifestyles and they don't even know it, or they settle for it. So without having that conversation, and then it's just like, oh, well, whatever happens, but that's when you playing, with the heart, and then all the other stuff follows that, when women think that they can, keep up with men, and you can't.
Anybody else, Bruce?
I mean, it's probably something you're just gonna have to I think women are gonna have to just get with the damn program. You already outnumber men by 2 million, 2.6 million. A lot of y'all going to go through life and not even have a marriage or even have a family. So at some point in time, you're just gonna have to to make that. I don't even want to call it a sacrifice. You're just gonna have to just think like, what do you want?
And men aren't built for us. We're built for women. We're built for men, I should say. Did I say women? We're built for men.
Especially
men aren't built for us. We're built for them. Men come prepared. Men come, to me, as the full package. The woman has to, like Bruiser said, get in line, get in, underneath of that program. So, like you said, you got to be realistic. And I think if women were more realistic and had these conversations and knew, what the value was in the market, then I think, more people could be real and have better relationships. But women want to live in a la la land where it's just like, oh no, I can change him, I'm the only one. And, when you see otherwise, now you want to go off the handle.
Because you got a lot of things pent up against you these days. You got the scarcity of men because you outnumber them. And then whenever you carrying these masculine behaviors where you want to, you don't want to submit, you know what I'm saying? Or you delusional, you know what I'm saying? You in the danger zone. You 35, you got kids, and you expect this man to be monogamous to you. Now you're sending these guys overseas. So now the proportion is getting way out. So like, what do you do? Like, are you just gonna fall in love with your roles? Are you gonna find another woman? Like, what is it gonna be? Like, I'm concerned. Like, I'm concerned for y'all.
I think women are going that route. Both of those routes that you said, the roles and women, and sometimes using men as a cover up or just for their money. Honestly,
And then y'all gonna just go to the what, sperm donor, or just go see a man that was just willing to come bust it down for the baby and bounce?
Man, look, they not looking for. They can feel like they could be mothers and fathers at the same time, Bruce. We had this conversation before. Look, her get ready. Hey,
all women are gone, bro.
Listen, the state of Florida, please prepare yourself because y'all gonna have an influx of women because they're gonna be a bunch of goddamn golden girls moving in. That's what's gonna happen. Bunch of goddamn golden girls. Or they decide they're gonna just all of a sudden they're gonna cross over. They gonna all of a sudden cross over. Women who used to love men, now they sick of them, they scorn by them, they crossing over. They gonna get them with the Allen Iverson and they gonna go bulldaggers. So shout out to Florida, get ready, they coming.
And they complain about that too, because quote unquote bulldaggers, they are tough as hell in public, but they soft as hell in under, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Indoors, they soft as hell. So they're not gonna sit there, you know, where we would normally be sitting in that spot. Like, why are you complaining so much? Now you get to see how we feel because this tough do-rag wearing blue jeans, you know, Jordan 1s behind closed doors, they are complaining to you. They are dropping all of their emotions on your chest. And you're like, what? Can you just shut up a moment? Give me some space. Let me go in the man cave. And so I don't have to hear that, you know.
So Jay, what you saying? The Studs gonna be winning. Jay, is that what you're saying? The Studs gonna be winning?
Nah, they not.
Does it sound
like go take it like us men that take L's?
Yeah.
Should women be getting their passports then too?
You asking me, should that be the case?
We be dating outside.
Let me tell you what you need to do.
Should y'all no. Y'all shouldn't be getting y'all passports.
African guys over there, like I have a friend that just came back from Africa.
I know it was a one-off.
And she's white 5.
Yeah, she's sharing. No,
and she's white 5.
Of course, but
I just ain't tell her yet.
Let me tell you what you need to do. You need to get your IDs changed to the Florida residents. Get that all ready and get all the paperwork. Y'all don't have to pay state taxes down there. Y'all gonna be good, shacking up together, living together all in one. Rose, Blanche, Sophia, all of y'all, get ready. Thank you for being a friend.
The equivalence is the equivalence of a passport.
Get ready. Your heart is true. Your smiling.
You like that show?
Yes, my grandmother used to watch it. And if I threw a party, invited everyone you knew. Come on, baby. Y'all know the song. Lady, sing it with me. You would be the biggest gift would be to me. Is a pal and a confidant. Thank you for being.
Can I just speak on her? I know people really don't want to hear this, but again, if we look at the stats, it would make more sense for women to get their passport, like what she's saying. And the reason I say that, I'm just speaking from a statistical, just a statistical standpoint. Worldwide, there are more men than women when we look at worldwide. However, in the US, women outnumber men slightly. I think it's like 50.4% and men is like 49.5%, somewhere around there. So from what I read, it said that there are 98 men to every 100 women in the States, right? So if we're just looking from a statistical standpoint, if women want to have children and have families, it makes sense for them to broaden their horizons in order to do that. That's all I'm saying from a statistical standpoint.
That wouldn't make any sense.
What do you mean?
Y'all passports is in the shape, form, and fashion of the family court's advantages. That's y'all passport. That's what y'all got to substitute us for. Is government assistance and all this what do they call it? The Great Society Act. That's our passport. Now we got ours.
No, my thing is y'all never are gonna leave the Golden State Warriors to go date somebody that's playing for the damn Cleveland Cavaliers. It's not happening.
But y'all are asking us to do that here.
Right.
So I'm just saying, if we got to drop standards anyway from what guys are saying, like, oh, you're thinking up here, you know, you want this kind of man, y'all need to lower, you know, your standards and get with the average man and blah, blah, blah. So y'all are asking women to do that here in the States, and there's less options for them. I'm just saying from a statistical standpoint that would make sense. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying women should or shouldn't. I'm just bringing that point up. That's all.
I think women standards.
Women don't. Not going to bring a man over here anyway, and y'all don't want to reside over there because y'all not going to get the treatment of the good laws y'all have over in the States. First things first, and then half of these dudes over here are not going to be able to clear customs to come over and be a resident anyway. They're not going to clear the criminal background check to be able to come over here unless y'all going to sneak their asses in like they do down in Mexico. Now, if that's what y'all going to do, then good luck with that to get them on that goddamn banana boat. But for the most part, y'all try to do it all legal on the up and up, it's not going to work well for y'all. So y'all better stay here in the States and try to figure out how y'all going to work it out with these men. If not, y'all going to be sharing. Or y'all could go on down to Florida, just like I see.
But domestically, most Black women are starting to date outside and marry outside of their race anyways here. Like Serena Williams is a perfect example. Like she married a white man.
Y'all not Serena Williams. Y'all don't have Serena Williams.
Oh my God.
I don't know what you're talking about. White men love me.
That's
I think it's a slap in the face for y'all to
stack up with you a good old white man.
I think it's a slap in the face for y'all.
Slap on his ass every once in a while.
I think it's a slap in the face for y'all to bring up the passport, that y'all need to get a passport. Like y'all are so far beyond just having accountability and looking at the damn reason why the man is going to go get a passport in the first place. Instead of looking at that, oh, we gonna get a passport too.
Yeah, because if you messing up the men over here, you gonna mess up the men over there. I'm just saying.
And the women,
not gonna mess them up.
The wigs over there.
That goes both ways.
No.
You're running
Listen.
from the problem instead of trying to solve the problem. If a man goes away or a woman goes away, we still left with the same problem here. So why not address that problem?
Well,
No. Understand.
Did anyone ever ask a man why they're leaving to go get a passport? Most of the reasons are because a lot of women here are not traditional. Traditional means that typically you stay at home, you raise the kids, he works, he brings the bacon, and then now you have a more stable household, raising better children. Women here, they stuck on being independent and they don't want to be submitting to nobody, not even the one they choose to marry. So they trying to go over there to get that instead of having this, because here it don't work over here. If you look at it, where is it working where kids are actually being raised properly? These kids are out of damn control. So that's not what men are looking for. And then mistaken, you mentioned something about lowering standards. To me, a lot of women's standards in this society is way too high. You cannot expect to have some six-figure man starting off, especially a Black man. What Black man starts off making six figures? They put in that label on 25-year-old Black men. What 25-year-old Black man is actually making that money unless he's on the gaming on YouTube, making money there? Most people ain't doing that. That's not even realistic. So the part of the money should be, hey, let me get a man I could grow with instead of getting a man that got this damn money. When you could grow with the person, you learn them more and you build together. The standards for women are too high, and that is the problem. So you going overseas to get a man to do what? The men over there don't even have money as much as the ones that we have in the US. So your standard's gonna be low because where you living is not gonna be what you want to live, where you want to live, because a lot of poverty over there, and then it's not even safe. So it should be fixing what the men are talking about, because they do have realistic points. I'm not saying all the men that want to get their passports, some of them trying to go over there for sex, but then the ones that have realistic points, it's like, okay, they're saying I have an attitude problem. They're not doing this. So just like fix that and then, approach it better.
I mean, but okay. So like how many of y'all have actually traveled outside of like the US, like utilized?
I have. I was a soldier. I'm a veteran.
I mean, same, but that's what I'm asking is the average African American doesn't even have a passport. I'm not trying to be funny, but like you don't know unless you know. So,
but it's not about. But see, it's not about an African American thing. It's about men. Period. Getting a passport.
No, you're missing the point of what I'm saying is that if you take, I think mistaken, we talked about this, like how you were saying like the area that you grew up in, you weren't a part of it, but you're from, and it took you going to college and getting exposed to like, and it's not even like, oh, you're partaking in the bad part, but the more you know, the more you know. If Black people aren't traveling to other countries, we just know what we're seeing in the media or whatever's being fed, that it's unsafe. There's tons of countries that are racially welcoming, actually. They are. And they also are very interested in our culture and their culture exchange, because it would elevate if we did intermingle, because we have two different co-collaborative thinking and ways of
Y'all accountability is
Real
like
quick.
a huge insult
do with
to
accountability.
men.
Saying expand your horizon, expand it.
Yeah,
If like,
y'all account. Go ahead, Jay.
Real quick, I wanna I wanna ask Indy a question. I know you say you're military. What was a couple places that you were stationed?
Hawaii. I was stationed in Hawaii. I lived in Hawaii for 2 years. Hawaii is part of the US, but their culture, Polynesian culture, Hawaiian culture, it's a totally different, it's like being in a different country. It's like Puerto Rico or the Philippines.
So, and what about, were you stationed anywhere else, like outside of the country, like not a U.S. territory?
Korea.
Okay.
But like
now,
there to do like
right. No. Now, what would you say is the role of the women in those particular countries where you were stationed? Do
so
they have Instagrams?
yeah.
Do they have breast cleavage?
In South Korea?
What I'm asking is, do you think you would be more empowered there, or is there a more firm hand on what a female's role is?
I think that a lot of countries are actually a lot more progressive than people realize. Like the ones that are a part of the UN. So like the ones that are like kind of similar to us, France, Italy, all that things, their women are also sexually like liberated as well. That's why like when Roe versus Wade got turned over here, they were laughing at us, because a lot of those countries, gay rights, sexual, like, you know, like the woman's choice on her body, those things are looked at as just natural human rights over there. It's not a discussion of religion versus like this and that. Our country is one of the only countries that where like you can't buy alcohol after a certain time because of religion plays a factor in it. And it's a different type of religion than what we think it is. When you're saying these countries, you're thinking like not trying to like Islamic maybe countries where the laws are like, you know what I mean? Like women still have certain really strict, like they can't go get an education, reading, certain laws like that, or Africa where they still have like female circumcision, right? Those kind of countries, I wouldn't go on a vacation. I wouldn't utilize my passport to go there anyways, to look for somebody. So like I would go somewhere where it is similar to, or the culture is similar to what we experience
The
here.
US.
American,
Not US, but like France, Italy, Sweden, Germany, countries that have similar like kind of like culture to us. They still use social media. They still, you know what I mean? They're not third world countries.
Can I say something, man?
Are y'all willing to, are these women willing to
Let
move?
Shan go next.
Are you willing to move over to those countries? Because like again, you talk about something, y'all trying to bring these men over here. Some of them won't pay to get through customs.
If I'm getting,
so if y'all willing to relocate, hey, good luck.
If it's a husband over there though, and he's established in his country, like let's say, because engineering, there's engineering contracts in countries like these. So if I were to take
get established men over here, then y'all think y'all going to another country gonna get established men? Y'all ain't get them here.
Okay, they are though. They work on like they work with the people that are contracted or come out because they can pay us less in their countries. They can't.
Those men want traditional women. So you're gonna be traditional when you go over there, because it's gonna be the same issue.
I think
Let me say something, man.
No, hold on, Bruiser. Let Shan go. Yeah. She's been waiting patiently.
You know, this is a funny conversation for me because, you know, I've always been I think that I've always been a very feminine woman all of my life. you know. And I remember at one point that was not appreciated among Black men, especially. I think that it's a trend. I remember when men wanted Miss Independent. And now that they have Miss Independent, now they want something completely opposite because now it's cool to be that. And it's just become so freaking confusing. And Mistaken has known me for 16 years. You've known the people I've been involved with. What did my son say his dad said was the problem with me? I'm too compromising, right? That was his excuse. So I've always been that woman. And I'm just telling you, you guys are saying that now, but those are not the women in the past that you've chosen. And so women have seen that. And now that they're doing exactly what you've chosen in the past, now you want something totally different. And then later on, it'll be something totally different because it's a trend thing. I just say, make up your mind what it is that you want. And I'm pretty sure women will comply. They will.
Let me go ahead and try to say something. You want to know what's worse than a woman that don't have any accountability? A woman who's threatened to use a passport to go try to find somebody or find a husband or whatever, find a worthy mate. That is even more disrespectful. You actually don't even have you shouldn't even have the right to do that. You shouldn't have the right. Because you got to understand one thing. Women wanted to be, they were fine when everything was patriarchal. When men were out here fighting these wars. You had World War I. We were out in Normandy, World War II, Desert Storm, all these wars and shit to create this society that we have, a patriarchal society. And now y'all want to deviate. Now y'all want to deviate from it and don't want to have any accountability. We earned the right to be able to travel abroad. We made this place safe, a safe place, a safe haven for y'all. All y'all gotta do is goddamn listen, shut the hell up. And when y'all don't do it, y'all run us out of the country, and then y'all in turn, y'all response to it is, oh, we gonna go out of the country too, then fuck it. No, that's not how you fix it. It's just, I think it's just disrespectful for y'all to even entertain the fact of going to go give y'all hearts and y'all lives and y'all bodies to somebody, or bring somebody, a stranger, a foreigner out into the country. Y'all haven't worked hard enough to be able to go and do that.
But Bruce,
y'all should be focusing on looking in the mirror first.
But hey, Bruce, you say that
there's thousands of soldiers, there's thousands of veteran people in the graveyard just so y'all can have this society. And what y'all do? Y'all took a piss on it. Y'all created all these other communities and shit, they polluted it. Now y'all in turning men and the women and shit like that. And then now y'all gonna run to the other. Y'all talking about going to go get a passport? No, fix your shit.
No, that's why we're here now.
March.
You want to be like men.
March backwards, back to us, back to man. March backwards, back to man, so we can help you fix the shit. But what y'all want to do is just keep marching further out.
Bruce, you say that, and the thing about it, they will fix themselves for the next man. Like I said before on another show, they'll go and lose that 30 pounds and get back in shape. Even though their ex-husband would sit there and say, they want you, maybe cut down a little bit or cut off some of that intake you're taking in. And they'll do it for that next man, or to try to get that next man. Instead of trying to fix that they'll run off and improve themselves for the next man. And yet, I done fat the frog for these snakes to eat. That's exactly what the original man did. He done fat the frog for the snakes to eat. So now they're going to eat good. They're going to reap the benefit of what I tried to get her to do, but she wasn't trying to make that change. But she'll change for that next man.
Can we all just agree can we all just agree that you just need to attract the man or the woman that you want? Everybody is not on the same. Everybody does not want a submissive woman. Everybody does not want a man that's going to dominate the household. Everybody looks for different things, and the only person you need to attract is the one that's for you. I think the problem we get into is that we try to set these standards across the board for everybody, and we're trying to pigeonhole them into one way of being, one way of interacting, and it's just not the case. You just need to find your lane, stay in your lane and attract that person that is on the same level as, or values that you have. And that's it. Like it's getting into this play, oh, you need to be submissive. And I know in some of the circles that I'm in, they don't want a woman like that. They want a woman to be a go-getter, a hustler, and make money just the way that they do. So you can't put that on everybody. Just understand, get to know what it is that you like and desire, and seek someone that have those same standards and values.
I'm just telling you straight up. This woman is, I don't know what's wrong with you, mistake. You keep coming with these anecdotal lines, man. It's just, I get it. You want to be textbook with it. People just need to go after what they want. Maybe you should probably focus on what you need. I think women should focus on what they need.
Both do.
Y'all be focused on what y'all want. It's been fucking y'all up.
No, I agree. It should be both. Both need to focus on what they need. That's the whole purpose of the other partner. Y'all, like iron sharpens irons. Like when I hold up a mirror, you're gonna see the person that you're with is gonna challenge you to grow in areas that you need. That's how you know that you have the right partner. If I don't have patience, more than likely I'm gonna end up with a partner that's gonna teach me how to learn patience. That's the whole purpose of a partnership. You help each other grow. Those areas that are weak, they're supposed to help you, or help you make stronger. And they hold up a mirror to you. I can definitely say that I've grown so much with my partner because he challenges me to be better, and vice versa. So that's why I say you need to find that person. Is not textbook. You're only going to work with those who the best partnership is where you have some core values that are in alignment. And then you go to the next level after that. You find those core values. And then, of course, dealing with other people, you're going to have strengths and weaknesses that are going to be challenged when you're in a relationship. But we get caught up and trying to pigeonhole and mold people into what we want them to be, as opposed to seeing who they are and be attracted to that. We say, oh, we see this person. Now, once I get with her, I'm going to mold her into the woman that I want her to be for me. You already see what she's coming with.
Most men,
if you don't like it, then don't get with that woman. Find somebody else who's in more alignment. Same thing with men. I think women are more guilty of that part of finding a man thinking that we can change them.
They're finding somebody aligned with overseas. And then what y'all saying in return is, okay, well then let's go overseas. How about no? How about, hey babe, you don't have to go overseas. What do you want me to do? How can we keep you men here? What do we have to do to keep you men here? Instead, y'all saying, fuck it, bye. We gonna travel too. We gonna be on the same flight with you.
Now, what y'all see,
we got
overseas, they see us as Americans, men and women. Like we have the issue. I'm not saying that racial issues don't occur overseas, but they see us as Americans. In other countries, they don't like Americans because of our values. So us going over there thinking that we're going to be able to get a man, or vice versa, you get a woman. Our values is what really differs from other countries. So get your values straight. We value money over here. Money is our God here. You know what I'm saying? Over there, that's not necessarily the case. So it's about culture and values. That's the difference. Find somebody that's in alignment with your value. That's it.
All right, let me get through these super chats so we get up out of here. Simone, 499. If you're married or desire to be, you honestly shouldn't have social media. I'm talking about us common folk. Blaze Walker, 999. Keep it a buck. IG is just a dating website where no matter what a woman posts, she got access to dudes giving her attention in a DM. Men, stop liking these women pics. Mr. 199. Also remember the solution is easy. Put the account on private. John the Baptist, $5. Most males want 10s and most females want 10s, but all men want women who is submissive and feminine. God will spirit $2. Also remember, are women going to go Western countries only? Marcus Evans, $5 said, talk to him. Damn. To go $5. Women saying, I want to get my passport like men is their way of saying, I want to get ran through. Girls trip.
Said 49 also remember, have you seen what China is going through, or how the World Cup was it Qatar? Qatar? Qatar won't allow rainbow flags. This chick is delusional. The AP Accountability Department files also remember, when did you ever hear men say they wanted Miss Independent? We want functional women. You heard that other ish in songs made by women. Love C999, as a sick child, your parents tell you to stay home until you're well. Get well, be realistic. Some flaws are meant to be resolved in the confines of a healthy relationship. It's not perfect. I think that might have been in this Louis $2. Who to cap for? Let them wear it. Marriage is not a partnership. Husband covers wife from Deion Lewis, $2. I think that might be all the super chats. Yep, that's all of them. All right, appreciate you guys tuning in to Lapeef-ING Sunday. Shout out to the sponsor, Teach Hanley, Complicated Skincare for Men. Lee is coming on directly after this within like 2 minutes. And why men need to set the standard. High value men taking L's in 2022. This is from the TJ Holmes and Amy story that's broke news. Was it yesterday? So make sure you guys go over there and show support for him as well. I want to thank the members on the panel today. Andy, I hope I didn't lose you. I see your head linked to the side. I don't know if you're in prayer and deep thought. You want to take us out in prayer? Okay.
I'm crying. No.
Okay. All right. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way out. And another one in the banger, y'all. Make sure y'all tune in to Sage Talk with Lee. Thank you, the real precious Lady Di, She Critique. Make sure y'all guys tune into She Critique too on Fridays. Sage Talk with Lee is up next, family. I see you, Jay. Make sure you guys head over to Sage Talk with Lee. Going up next. Sage Talk with Lee is up next. Make sure you guys head over there. Just drop the link in the chat. Just link over the chat. Head over there to Sage Talk with Lee. Appreciate you guys. Another bang in the book, Lapeef-ING Sundays. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Everybody head over there to Sage Talk with Lee. Shout out to the sponsor, T Channel. Appreciate you guys.